Oh, also, yeah, they literally translated it too. You're good. You're good. Hello, everyone. Happy, what day is it? Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. Here we are. Oh. Plink. Okay, well, I didn't get rid of that. Lamau. Well, I guess that stays unless it's borked. Okay. Nagashing it. I don't know much about this at all, so I am learning all the things. Wonder if Yura and Tetra were permitted to get any sleep last night. It's just the power of the BB. BB had slept literally in a 9-hour stint, which is crazy. We had to wake her up to eat because it was like way too long. And then she slept in 5.5 hours. And then it was like a 2-hour stint. But she slept really, really well. I don't think babies are supposed to be sleeping in 9-hour stints, but she slept really well last night. So Tetra's refreshed, I'm refreshed. I think BB's great. I think she's actually heading back to sleep now again. So yeah, we got a good night's sleep finally. After the other day, oof, we needed it. We really needed it. BB got your EPs? Yeah. Well, to be fair, when she has a terrible day of sleeping, she usually, knocks on wood, sleeps pretty well the next day. So, high refreshed. Okay, mods, timeout, Ralph. Yeah, but she usually sleeps pretty well after she had a day of sleeping terribly. And she had a great day. Like, she even took, I think, 3-hour nap throughout the day. She's doing good. She's doing great. She's being super cute. But, I might have a third video to watch today. We're gonna watch, Nagash, which I'm assuming is the Skelly Boys, because looking at the thumbnail, it looks like a giant Skelly Boy. Do I remember the name for the Skelly Boys? Tomb Kings. I got it. The Tomb Kings. I got it. Hello, beloved small cat era for PP supplies. What the heck, Michael? Hello? Thank you for the super chat. That's a lot. Thank you so much for that. That will definitely go towards her food. I promise. I promise. It's expensive. He's Skelly indeed, or is now, I suppose. Well, he's a Skelly boy. That's what I see from the thumbnail. What the heck? Thank you again. That's crazy. You're crazy. The loops, yeah, she gets the loops. He is the Skelepope. He does have a nice fancy hat. The BB taxes fall to YouTube. There's no BB tax on YouTube. Oh my gosh. There's no BB tax. Please. I'm just here to tee-hee haha laugh to funny reaction content. Turns out drawing pot shards difficult. I have a task on Friday. Wait, what? Drawing pot shards? What? Is that for like the desktop thing? Caught me at the very cat time of my life. What? Huh? A very cat time of your life? Question mark? The loops accelerate. True. The loops accelerate. Unless you mean the German version of cat, then sorry? Question mark? You know what it is? Shards of pots and vases, etc. But like to draw? For like the, I don't understand what that means. I don't know what that means. Oh, okay. I have a little bit of coffee today, so I'm very, very poggin. I actually didn't put ice in it today. I just hot coffee, which I haven't had in a while, but it's a cool down now. Oh, and the other one we're gonna watch is another crime story investigation thing. And then if we have some time, there's also the raccoons for Casual Geographic. I almost said Natural Geographic. Casual Geographic. Sit up all night drawing vases. I'm shattered. Why you're like this, Ralph? That's such why you're like this. Your EP, yeah, Apocalypse yelling at you because you went to bed late. You probably got less sleep than Tetra and I. Messed up. Haven't been live for a couple days. The week was rough. Wait, me? What? You mean like because you didn't get enough sleep, Edom? The raccoons, yeah. I don't want to spend too much time away from the baby. I don't have a problem. And there's a bunch of things we have to do today as well because it's one of those days where only one of us is working, so we have a little bit more time to catch up with like household stuff and laundry and a bunch of other things. Shards like a mosaic? I don't know. Her trash pandas have been summoned. Oh my god, Trash is here! Yeah, we might watch a Casual Geographic one for raccoons. I kind of want to watch it just because if I only do 2 videos, I feel like that's not enough for the week. So I'm going to try and get it done. So we're probably going to jump in relatively quickly because the Murder Mystery one is 40 minutes and the Warhammer one is 20. So that's an hour right there already. Maybe I should preemptively get it ready though, just in case. Because how long is it? As long as it's not super long. Raccoon's been 17 minutes. We might be able to do it. I think 3 videos might be better. Might be better. Fell asleep replying to a message from Tetra and it was like 50% gibberish. You probably look like I had a stroke. Yeah, because you were up late. I was like looking at something and then I saw you were online. I'm like, what the? And I'm like, go to sleep. Dang, go to sleep right now. Sleeping time. Even though you're probably working, but still. I don't think there's anything else to report on. Oh, if you're not on Twitch, we were playing Reanimal yesterday, and apparently people are completing it in a 5-hour span, and I'm, what, 6 hours into it? Granted, there were some places that I stopped and, like, held the baby and stuff, so I'm probably about 5.5, 6 hours into it, and I'm still apparently not anywhere close. Oh my god, hi, Pen! I've had moments like that where it's just, like, terrible, where it's like you just can't sleep. Or just don't get sleep. I take any opportunity to sleep. Although I'm trying to make it through the days because I notice if I sleep during the day, I don't sleep at night. So I have to make sure I don't take naps throughout the day. Unless it's like really early in the morning. Sadly got to witness the start of the last Reanimal stream, but my body didn't need to sleep. Oh no, sleep is important. If you guys ever really need sleep, I completely understand. Most of the time, I leave the VODs. So most of the time you could just rewatch them on there. I thought about uploading them to YouTube as like a separate video, just like literally just downloading it as like, this is the VOD where I played Reanimal, but I don't know. Got to go here, I have a crash. I've just done with a 12-hour shift. Holy, at the hospital, so I'm tired. Just wanted to stop by and say hello for a BB tax. 1, you're crazy for the BB tax. 2, go rest. I give you all of the tiredness. I hope you sleep well. Sweet dreams. Speaking of, I had a really weird dream, and now I don't remember it. Now I don't remember it. We're married? Yes, Tetra and I are married. We are married, we live together. Silly Gremlin, your time, let's go. We're gonna do the react content. Nagash, the greatest genius and mage of Warhammer, only rivaled by his being a butthole level. Wait, he's like the horned rat? Ain't no way. Hospital shifts are dumb. Yeah, my aunt was a nurse. I think she's retired now. And I think she worked 4 days a week and did like 12 to 15-hour shifts. So no way, you married your roommate? Yeah. No, weird dreams are back. Yeah, I guess I slept so soundly, but I don't remember what it was. I just remember waking up and being like, that was weird. Dreams are back. Another weird dream. I thought they were over now. Post-pregnancy, they back. I've always had weird dreams. It just was like exacerbated during pregnancy. Strangely enough. Night shifts are peak. I mean, I always said I never would be able to do night shifts, but technically I'm doing night shifts with BB, so actually I'm gonna hide this. I just realized that was like borked. Yippee! Dreaming for both herself and BB. I think BB does have dreams though, because okay, it's gonna sound really, really cute and I'm not gonna be able to mimic it, but BB in her sleep usually does grunting, and the grunting freaks me out because like, and I'm like, what is happening? This child is going sicko mode. But last night was really, really cute, I guess, because she was sleeping soundly. She was just like, in her sleep, and it was just like for like 2 hours, and I was like, she's sleeping, because every time she did, I would look over because I'm like, oh, but she was just sleeping. It was so cute. She did do some grunting and like she like kicks her legs up. But when she does that, it's so cute. The child's going sicko mode. She literally like kicks her sleep and then she like grunts. She's like, and I'm like, what is happening? Are you okay? And she's still sleeping the entire time. So like when that's happening, I'm like, oh my god. And like, I don't know what to do because she's still sleeping. She is trying to break free of the swaddle though, which terrifies me. And she did get to it at some point before she woke herself up. Loops, yeah, loops. BB's dreaming of the loops. I'd like to think she's also dreaming of her parents and being like, wow, they're so cool. And, you know, they're just so awesome. I love them so much. That's what I would hope. I don't know. BB dreaming of vanquishing her foes, she craves violence. Oh. Swaddle escape? Yeah. So there's ones we have that are like, you know, they come in like a box of like 3 and they're a bit cheaper. And she breaks free of those really easily unless you really tie it down. And then over the course of her sleeping, if she does it for like, you know, hours, she'll break free of it. And then we have like a really, like a more expensive one that's really, really nice. And it takes her a very long time to break free of that. And that you kind of don't have to swaddle her as tightly, and it keeps it, I don't know what the difference is. Because they're both Velcro, but one is just a lot better. We're gonna lose a lot of her mittens and socks. Oh, she literally cannot wear socks because she kicks them off within like 2 seconds. So like, I'll have outfits where it doesn't, like the onesie doesn't cover the feet. And I'm like, oh, I could put on cute little socks on her. So cute. And then she kicks them off. And I'm like, yep. Can't wear socks. Can't wear socks. Baby cannot be contained. She's a monster, but she's my little monster. BB does not drink the almond milk crims. Okay? So I just want to ask a lot of chat not to spoil too much on Nagash. I mean, chat's been pretty good lately, so they'll be surprised if you ask, we'll explain. Yeah, chat's been really good, so I really can't complain. Not like yesterday on Ring Animal, where a certain user that starts with KRIMZ was trying to backseat. Crazy. She's being influenced by Dawn. Yeah, which is weird because it literally is her cat because they have the same type of energy. Same type of energy. The sheer non-containable power of BB scares me. Good to know the dynasty has a strong heir. She is super strong. Sometimes I feel like she's too strong. But I don't know. I don't know if babies are supposed to break free of their swaddles, if that's like a normal thing or not. I'm watching you, Jet. Always watching. Watching you, Wazowski. Side backseating, shakes head disappointment. Nah, I'm messing with Crims. I'm messing with Crims. If it was true backseating, I would be yelling at Crims. This is just playful banter. Alright, well let's get started on the videos. It's gonna start in a second. Let me swap over to here. Because we want to watch the raccoon video today. Boop, go over here. Internet. Also, YouTube, I don't know if you guys saw it. YouTube was down yesterday for a while because we were watching a video and then it just went down. Because we were trying to watch it and it was just like out. And I was like, well, okay. So we ended up having to put on Netflix instead. I drive myself everywhere. I never backseat. Oh my God, Ralph. Why you're like this? Traumatizing. I did it bad during the stream. Nah, it's fine, Crims. It's fine. It was a little bit backseating, but you were fine. Okay, let's see if this is good audio first.
Warhammer Fantasy. Something about the good guy characters is that even when they do horrid...
I think that's good, right? Does the audio seem good? Takes down door. Did someone mention Nagash? We're learning about Nagash today. The biggest a-hole in Warhammer is worse than the Horned Rat? Worse? Because I don't know. He was a little spicy. It was a little spicy. Yeah, my YouTube app on mobile gave error message for like 10 minutes yesterday. Oh, literally it was as soon as we're going to sleep, and we usually put on like background noise or like white noise from like the YouTube thing, and it was just down. And we're like, oh, okay. And then we tried to log it on our phones, and it was like, it kicked us out. So it's like, oh, well, you need to draw your own conclusions. I'll compare it at the end. We'll have a discussion at the end for Nagash and say who's worse. Say he's worse in a way. Horned Rat is a chaos god, his nature's beast. Oh my God. He's like, oh, he chooses to be. He chooses to be. Okay, both are great. Seems okay. Okay, thank you, Blair Bus. All right, so let's, today we're learning about Nagash. Chat is already telling me that he's pretty stinky. We were just talking about how we're going to compare it to the Horned Rat, who is also not a great guy. So I don't really know much about this. I think the thumbnail showed he was a Tomb King ? But let's find out.
In Warhammer Fantasy, something about the good guy characters is that even when they do horrid things, they do it out of the love for their people and nation that they have. Karl Franz, Teclis, even some evil characters like Lev von Karstein do some pretty dark things out of wanting their people to survive and prosper. They genuinely believe these things are a necessary evil to survive in the horrid world that they live in. They try to be good people despite the cards they've been dealt, oftentimes forcing them to do dark acts. With that in mind, there's something to be said about a character who is just an unrelenting piece of shit at every turn for no better reason than content, cause why not? No, this isn't another video about the Skaven, though they will feature in it. Allow me to tell you the story of Nagash, Warhammer.
Though they will feature in it. Sus. Okay, first thing, designs. Okay, it sounds really dumb. I think like the skull designs, usually when it's like in a little bow, is very cute. So kind of vibing with the aesthetic. Kind of vibing.
His biggest douchebag. Nagash was born in ancient Hekara thousands upon thousands of years before Warhammer Fantasy mostly takes place. He was the first son of the reigning ruler, which at first makes you probably think, oh, he's gonna be doing great, he'll be king and all that good stuff. And in literally any other kingdom, you'd be right, but in Hekara, the firstborn son doesn't become king, it's the secondborn one. The firstborn is stuck being sent off to join the mortuary cult to learn all about death and keeping pacts with the Hekaran gods and all that stuff that doesn't involve ruling with unlimited power.
So the first one is not allowed to rule the kingdom. That's interesting. But they learn about like the history of things and how it works. I mean, this thing's throwing me off because I don't know what this is. I guess they go on like an adventure type of thing. But the second one, that's interesting. I've never seen it that way.
And Nagash hated it. He was a sociopathic dickhead from day one and wanted to be king. There was, however, a brief moment in time where his father Katap led a military campaign against Elizamon but fell ill, whereupon Nagash took over the campaign for him and briefly ruled a city he saved as a king for 6 months. This happened before he was forced to join the mortuary cult, so not only did he get power taken away from him, now he had a taste of what he could have had if he was born just a bit later. Also, his
first one becomes a priest. Oh, priesthood. I mean, that's kind of an interesting way of doing it. I don't think I've ever heard that before. Usually it's like, oh, the first in line becomes the heir. Yeah. Interesting.
His dad removed all records of him actually doing the ruling of the city and leading the campaign and just had him referred to as a brave warrior. Bit of a dick move, but given what Nagash is going to be getting up to shortly, probably not undeserved. Thankfully, during his father's funeral, a solution to all his problems was practically handed to him on a silver platter. Diplomats from another kingdom arrived with 3 Dark Elf prisoners to be given to Zandri, Nagash's kingdom, as a sacrifice. Nagash promptly went, "I assure you, everyone, I can handle it from here," and stole them away. When he was embalming his dad's corpse, he realized that dark magic must have played a part in his death, and he correctly assumed that the 3 pointy-eared assholes in front of him were at least somewhat responsible. So he stuck them in his dad's pyramid, filled the entire thing with lethal traps and whatnot, and told them they can either teach him magic or join his father in the grave. Naturally, they decided to help him, though being elves, they of course made sure to tell him that he was still inferior the entire time. Not that he gave a shit, he got that spicy forbidden knowledge either way. He learned how to do magic without relying on the gods, all about chaos and the fun stuff that entails, and that if a human is extra careful, they can use one of the winds of magic. Of course, not all of it at once like the elves, but hey, better than nothing. Eventually, the Dark Elves, of course, managed to escape, but right as they got to the exit, they found good old Nagy waiting for them. He told them that they either had to beat him in a magical duel to escape or get back in that tomb, so help them, and the elves figured, we're elves, we got this. But in fact, they did not have this, and Nagash ate all of their souls.
He ate all their souls? Okay, and so I was gonna say, I paused it at the wrong time, but I didn't want to cut him off. That beast thing he was running was cool. So this is before he was a skeleton? Because, I mean, they said they didn't have a picture, but they're showing some different pictures. I was continuing even after the time of Cetra, since the mortuary cult became powerful and influential as well. I don't know what Cetra is. Usually the first is the heir, second is the backup, and everyone third and later could piss off. That's nice. Eats your soul. Well, he said you had to fight them, so, like, yeah, he's still mortal. Okay, so he's still mortal right now. Okay. Because I was confused, because I was like, wait a minute, because it sounds like he has really strong powers, but then he's like, oh, then his dad died, and then he embalmed him, and I was like, wait, okay, so it was before, okay.
This is where things really started to go well for Nagash, and poorly for everyone who isn't Nagash. As a quick side note, though, those 3 elves were also involved in the false flag operation that started the massive war between the high elves and the dwarfs. So if you ever wondered how the hell all of the horrible things of the Warhammer world managed to come to power, including Nagash, it's because Malekith and his Dami mommy threw a hissy fit powerful enough to destabilize
I'm sorry, his what? Okay.
Anyways, Nagash, he commensurated his newfound power by murdering his brother's court and burying him alive. Already off to a fantastic start, he began to get really into his magical research. He invented necromancy. Well, I mean, alright, not technically, but he was the first one to make meaningful progress with it. Meaningful progress here meaning potions of eternal life and entire armies of undead soldiers. Let no one say he doesn't get shit done. He did almost the whole evil magic shebang. Mass sacrifices, torture, kidnapping people to sacrifice and torture. The only thing I don't think he did was make pacts with dark gods, because then he wouldn't be the one in charge. He wrote
But why do you have to name it like that, though? I'm not saying I'm not repeating what he said, but why? Wait, his mom is also his lover? Huh? His mother, Morothai Pancreas, reversing the old lore where the two had a relation, if you know what I mean. Well, Pancreas is down bad from Roth. I gotta talk to him, guys. It's kind of, yeah.
9 books, creatively called the 9 Books of Nagash, which, fair enough, I guess. These contained the secrets of all he had learned, though because he put a portion of himself in each of them, only he could get the full power out of them. Why he needed to get the power out of the books he wrote, I don't know, but I guess even without the knowledge, they're still incredibly powerful magic artifacts, so maybe that's why. Or just because he's a dick. That's always a good reason to go for when you're talking about Nagash. Then he started his trend of building massive black pyramids at least partially made out of warpstone. First he bankrupted Kem rebuilding it, not only wasting the treasury, but thousands of lives on top of that. Then he figured that if he was going to build this, he might as well full send it, and did pretty much the same thing to all of Nehekara. Eventually no one could stomach him turning their once mighty nation into a continent-sized decaying remnant of what once was, so basically the city of Chicago scaled up, so they all rebelled. Nagash responded by raising a massive army of the dead, and then killing his wife, who for the record was his brother's wife before he murdered his brother. He was also abusive and probably sexually assaulted her, because at this point there were only so many ways to make him even more of a shitbag, the writers probably just felt obliged to cross that off the list. Despite
Okay, I'm learning things. All right, so now at this point, he's a skeleton because he's learning necromancy and stuff, if I heard correctly. And now he's deleting people and just being an overall. Not yet, no. Okay, not yet. Okay. I thought it was because he says he's doing necromancy. Not yet a skeleton. Nope, still a dude. Really? Really? He's okay. All right. Nagash, the kind of guy to play Pot of Greed and tell you exactly what it does. Lamau. Okay, still very much fleshy. Okay, all right. Let him cook, I guess. Wouldn't actually cook, but let him cook.
But all this, he assumed no one was actually going to challenge him once he rose to power. Surely no one was dumb enough to do that. He was very wrong, and the armies of 7 Tomb Kings cast him out of power and
Tell me right there, they're not Tomb Kids yet. Anyway.
murdered all of his lieutenants. Turns out a 7-nation army could hold him back. Who knew? Of course, he slipped away like the weasel he is, and they couldn't destroy his pyramid, but hey, he's gone. Sure, the land's in crippling debt, famine, the gods are pretty much gone because Nagash killing his wife broke an ancient pact, and barbarians from everywhere else are raiding across the land willy-nilly. But hey, at least the big bad was defeated once and for all. It turns out, the big bad wasn't defeated once and for all. Nagash wandered in the desert for a little while, kinda like Moses, but evil. At one point he died, but he decided that dying is cringe, so he just possessed his body and kept on walking. He saw some Skaven, murdered some Skaven, and then took a bite out of the warpstone they had on.
Dying is cringe. Heard it here first, Chad. What the? And then beat up Skaven. Okay, all right.
On him. Instantly, 2 things happened from this. 1, it was like he ate a senzu bean and recovered a pretty sizable portion of his power, and 2, his senses got all screwed up like that one scene from Gravity Falls where the guy has an eyeball for a mouth and he just kinda watered the desert aimlessly for over a century. To fast track things a little bit, after that little oopsie, he found a human tribe living on a mountain. He saw how they were mining warpstone, took it over, and then turned it into a magical fortress called... seriously? Nagashazar. Because of course that's what he called it. He fought some Skaven to a standstill, made a truce with them which neither side expected to last for more than 5 minutes, then made not only his evil armor but his crown of sorcery.
Okay, so he ate a warpstone. So is it because he had so much power that he was able to become a Scally Boy and that, you know, he survived because it said he was dying, but then he ate the warpstone and then it like... So is it because he has so much power that he was able to turn into like a skeleton or... I mean, a Tomb King, I guess. I keep calling them Skelly Boys. So, can anyone do that if they're strong enough? Yes, basically. Because if a normal human was just like, gulp, warpstone, they can't... Yeah, he was too powerful to die. He was simply too base to die. The dichotomy of chat. He was too powerful. He was too based. He knew necromancy. Oh, so he was like, psych, gonna do it on myself? Like, literally turned the wand towards himself, and he was like, Kazam. Okay, interesting. He possessed his body before the warpstone. How do you possess your own body? Huh. Nagashar means glory of Nagash. Yeah, of course they would name his cult. Not that I would know what a cult is, but imagine naming your cult after yourself. That's kind of cringe. Kind of cringe. Very, very few people. Okay, all right. He possessed his body before the warpstone eating. Huh. Prefer to think he just said death is cringe and decide not to die. He said YOLO, but I'm living again. Lamau.
Armor is whatever, you know, it's just standard evil bad guy armor, but the crown is important and it'll show up later. By this point, vampires started bothering him because someone else found his formula for eternal life but couldn't get the recipe quite right. The first time someone tried to contact him, he magically strangled them from a continent away. But eventually he figured these super powerful undead might make for some good minions and recruited them to his cause. He also may have been guiding them the whole time, but either way, he's got his new lieutenants and decided that he'd take another crack into Hekara, and so he did. And a lot of people died. Like, a lot. His forces started wreaking havoc, and the chief king of the realm, Akadizar, was taken from his throne and imprisoned by Nagash. And then the Skelly Man decided it was time to up the ante. How, you might ask? Why, by casting a spell that would resurrect every last corpse on the planet under his control. All of them. Ever.
All of them? Ever? Huh? That's a lot of people. All at once? How is this guy like super overpowered? Like every character that we learn about, it's like, oh yeah, you thought they were strong? They were even stronger than everything ever known. All of them? How such is the power of Nagash? Why can't it be a good guy that has this much power? Why is it always a bad guy? What? Also, he invented necromancy? He like I thought he just learned it. Okay, well, all right. Presentate the difference between a villain and a supervillain presentation. I love Megamind.
This was after not only the Great Chaos Invasion, but the massive war between elves and dwarfs, as well as the Elven Civil War and Malekith's Hissy Fit. So there were a few corpses lying around. The stakes have risen somewhere into the stratosphere by this point, and what didn't help was that Nagash, while doing this, decided to kill every single living being in Nehekara first just to piss off Alcadizar. Alcadizar also needed to be alive as a focus for the power of the spell. Since he ruled Nehekara, he would serve as a symbol for everything in it to focus on, so Nagash could murder everything in it. But I have no doubt in my mind Nagash mostly just kept him alive to be a shitheel. But he forgot about one crucial detail. Those goddamn rat people.
The gosh darn Skaven. Oh yeah, look at them. They're so cute. Okay.
Realized that every corpse on the planet included Skaven corpses, which are always plentiful, and that either way, world domination would include wiping them out. So the Skaven freed Alcadizar, gave him a dagger made of pure warpstone that started killing him the moment he touched it, and told him to go stab the guy at the center of a hurricane of magic. And right as everything but he and Nehekara was dead, including the plant life, he cut off Nagash's hand. He wasn't dead, but at least the spell hadn't gone global. And thus did an epic battle for the fate of the world begin, in which the Skaven were actually using magic the whole time to help Akadizar because that's how afraid they were of Nagash. He made Skaven willingly work with other people and not screw them over because of how afraid they were of him. Jeez.
That's crazy. He scared the Skaven so much. Oh my gosh. Well, I'm glad I didn't read the comments. But dang, the Skaven were so afraid of him, they're like, nah, we're gonna work together, Lamau.
Jesus fuck. Epic battle occurs then ends. I'm sure there's some stuff to say in it, but I mean, it's an epic fantasy battle. The good guy ends in the win. What the fuck did I just say? Nagash is dead, but so is Nehekara. Of course, since losing his hand caused Nagash to have an oopsie whoopsie with the spell.
Oh yeah, he lost his hand. When the Skaven are the good guys, you know yeah, when the Skaven are the good guys, you know you're in trouble. Thank you for the super chat, war boss. That's why I was like, wait a minute, the Skaven, huh? And they work together? They're not like out to kill each other? Hello? Before Nagash, necromancy was finger painting and tic-tac-toe. Nagash brought to the level of quantum physics. Everyone went together and were like, you know what? He's a bad guy. We need to work together. This is like bad, but like to the umpteenth power. We need to work together. Yeah, you know it's a bad sign when the Skaven all literally work together to defeat someone. Also, he lost his hand, so I'm curious to see what happens to that. Also, thank you for the super chat, Zid. Thank you.
Well, all of the Nehekarans that died in the past came back with varying levels of sentience. The Tomb King started infighting, and now there's all sorts of claims to the throne and a whole ton of shit going down. But that's irrelevant. Nagash is gone now, and this time the good guys actually beat the big bad for certain, even if it was at a measurable cost. Definitely this time. He's definitely gone. It turns out that Nagash was not actually gone. He basically invented—
What? He wasn't actually gone? Shocker. Wow, shocked.
invented necromancy. Are you surprised? I mean, seriously. No, of course he was very weakened, both from the sword and from the souls of all the people he killed beating the shit out of him in the afterlife. So it took him 1,111 years to finally come back again. When he did—
Oh, okay, but it took him a while. Okay. The Chaos God in that time were afraid of Nagash. Really? Even the gods were afraid? Thank you for the super chat. Thank you. Antonio, thank you. So everyone was just afraid of him. He was that powerful. God, not actually gone. Oh my God. He's like, psych. He really said, it's not a goodbye. It's a see you later. But it took him 1,111. I don't know if that was the exact number. I heard a lot of ones. For him to return. So at least it's not like, at least you could prepare ahead of time a little bit, maybe.
Come back, he had to find all of his magical stuff, and he had to reforge his hand since Alcatizar cut it off, but hey, he's back. Unfortunately, he was unlucky enough to come back to life at the same time as Sigmar Unbroken, the still just a man, the myth, the legend himself. And Sigmar, being a big fan of Smash...
Sigmar like Sigmar? Coincidence? I think not.
Things with his hammer, proceeded to smash Nagash with his hammer. To be fair, he had to wear Nagash's crown after he found it in order to resist Nagash's magic, but he still won. I mean, he's Sigmar. Of course he won. He's the best god emperor and the second best emperor in Warhammer. And now Nagash was definitely gone. For certain. Absolutely, definitely gone.
He's definitely gone this time, right? Hi, Nevi! He's definitely gone this time, right? There's no way he's coming back again. Especially since he got so defeated by a Sigmar. Oh, that's a funny name. Can't believe Nagash died of Ligma. I can't believe it. Oh my God, yeah, he's for sure. There's no way he's coming back again.
Turns out that Nagash was, yeah, he's not gone, alright. Of course, this time it took a lot.
What? He's back again? How?
Longer for him to come back. His spirit did kind of influence some stuff and quietly direct things for a few thousand years, and more directly guide Arcan, but he didn't do too much otherwise. And then the end times happened. Naturally, the big man was due for a comeback tour. He started it by resurrecting himself by having Arcan sacrifice Tyrion and Alariel's daughter, the Fey Enchantress, and Volkmar the Grim. Presumably several thousand other peasants and such as well on top of them, because this lich cannot do anything without being a prick about it. He shows back up on all of his pointy-hatted glory, and literally everyone on the planet, including the Chaos Gods, start shitting their pants. Because this time around, he ate the god.
They're Morbius fans? They started pooping their pants? Pog?
Out of the dead and caused the dead around the world to resurrect. Now that he's back, first order of business, obliterate Nehekara, which he promptly did. Sutcher did put up a fight and say the most badass line in all of Warhammer history, but he still got exploded by Nagash in the end. After he was done with revenge about 10,000 years in the making, Nagash drained the power of the dwarf god Valaya because one god clearly wasn't enough for him. Then he brings all of the undead on the planet under his control and starts forcing the entire wind of death into Sylvania.
Okay, dumb question, because it says he brought back everyone that was passed away again, right? So if he resurrected the entirety of all the bodies in the world, and then they get defeated, but then he comes back and resurrects them again, is it all the other previous bodies plus current ones as well, or is it just like the new ones? And if they're already undead, how do they technically die? I've always questioned that. Is it just the magic just goes away and it's like, time's up, pile of dust. It's all the bodies, so it's all of them all over again, plus any new ones. Okay, so that's question number one. They can crumble. Oh, is there like a certain thing? Is it a spoiler? I don't know if it's a spoiler. Is there a certain thing that like deletes them, like silver to the heart, even though they don't have hearts, like something like quirky like that? Death magic is funky. Yeah, well, I'm thinking because if he made necromancy and came up with it, right? How do people know how to fight it? All bodies that aren't dust. Okay, true. Don't know personally, but assume that not all completely obliterated. Sorry, hiccups. If the one reanimating them is destroyed, the undead, the control will fall apart. Oh, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I didn't think about it that way. It's kind of like the puppet and the puppeteer. Okay, all right. Necromancy in Warhammer is basically using magic to puppet bodies. The spells can be broken. So that's the only way to get rid of everything then. So there's no point in fighting the ones that he summoned. Multiple stuff works well against undead necromancers. Oh, like light. That's like a common one. Like, oh, sunshine and bubblegum. Yeah, okay. Light and life magic tends to work really well against undead, and killing the necromancer works very well. Okay, smart. It's possible to damage your body to the point where reanimation is almost impossible, though it's very hard to do. True. Okay. Just as the god of necromancers you're up against. I mean, he's a little quirky. Yeah, okay. All right. Thank you, guys. I had to check it out. I don't know why I couldn't think of that answer, because I've seen like other things before. I was just curious if it worked the same.
At this point, he decided that it was safe for him to take a bit of a breather, so he decided to chill in his coffin for a while. Also, remember the Black Pyramid he built? He floated it all the way to Sylvania. Imagine picking up the Great Pyramids of Giza and floating them over to Romania, only double the distance because the Warhammer world is huge. He used it to start becoming even more powerful, but he once again made a massive mistake. He forgot he existed on the same planet as the Skaven. By this point, the Skaven had decided to become part of Chaos because the writers needed the end times to happen eventually, and that was a good way to do it. A massive demon army, led by a traitorous lieutenant of his, shows up, and while it was held back thanks to Nagash's power, the Skaven sneaked on under to the pyramid and blew it up with magical nuclear warheads.
Okay, so the Skaven once again are proving they're bad guys, but they are not bad guys, and they're willing to work together to destroy someone who's even worse. That's a W for the Skaven. Mark that down. Mark that down.
Understandably a little bit annoyed, he destroyed every single demon on the field with one massive blast of magic. Then realizing that between blowing his load too early and with his pyramid gone, he had no way to achieve godhood in time, so he reluctantly went to ally with the living. Teclis did try to get him on their side a while ago, but Nagash was still up his own ass and turned him down, and also probably disintegrated the elf he sent to ask him. Also, another quick side note, but how he hadn't achieved godhood after devouring 2 entire gods is an excellent example of Games Workshop's writing ability. Anyways, he goes to Athel-Loren to meet up with the other incarnates of the Winds of Magic, and they barely managed to squeak out an alliance. To seal the deal, he gave Manfred to the living as a sort of prisoner exchange, which was pretty funny. Manfred is even like, hey wait, what the hell man, before getting put in a box or something. He also mocks Tyrion and Alariel for not being to save their daughter and prevent his resurrection, because of course he does. During negotiations, Chaos shows up to stop the alliance, and Nagash brutalizes anything chaotic in front of him, and solos a bloodthirster. Nagash, giant douchebag, but great in a fight. Everyone still alive teleports to Middenheim to stop Chaos from overtaking the world, and Nagash continues on as he has and one-shots anything stupid enough to get in front of him before resurrecting their corpse. See, this is why I love him, or at least love to hate him. He's such an unrepentant asshole, but he does it with such style that I'm still happy he's around.
I'm sorry, he does it with such style. So he literally defeats someone in one shot and then resurrects them and then uses them against... Okay, well that's kind of spicy.
Fight, he eventually fought Kabanda the Bloodthirster, which required a bit more effort out of him. First, he had to choke him out like a bitch before erasing him from the world. As the climax of the battle is coming up, they go to stop the Chaos Rift from overtaking the world, and then, Manfred decided that now is the time to betray everyone and stabs Gelt in the back. Tyrion stabs Manfred in the back in return, but it's too late. As the world is overtaken by chaos, Nagash loses all of his magic and is last seen crumbling the dust while panicking. And thus does the story of Nagash come to a close.
Wait, there's no way he's coming back again, right?
Definitely. It turns out that I have about 3 jokes to work with per video because I am not clever or funny, and also that Nagash's story did not come to a close. After the world exploded, Chaos stuck him in a crypt of forgotten...
Didn't come to a close again? I'm sorry, he what? He's back again? No way. No way. What is this, the 4th time now? The 4th time?
Moments after the end times, which sounds like some BS nothing, but whatever. Sigmar frees him to help him restart reality, and they start beating the snot out of monsters even the Chaos Gods were afraid to mess with. And he's a god too now. He's finally moving up in the world. Except now he has 7 other incarnate gods to deal with of roughly equal strength to him on top of the Chaos Gods. He did pimp slap Marathi when she tried to sleep with him though, so at least his treatment of women hasn't changed after all these years. Then again, it's Marathi, and if there's ever an elf that deserved to be slapped upside the head over and over, it's definitely her. He immediately begins planning to betray Sigmar and everyone else, because at this point I'm pretty sure being an asshole is a core part of his soul or something. Speaking of souls, he also claims all the souls of those who die as belonging to him on the basis of do trust me on this one. That's why
Do trust me on this one.
He really hates Sigmar now because the Stormcast get reforged and he only gets a sliver of their soul each time they die. But I get ahead of myself. Nagash ate all the other fucking diabetes, man. Nagash ate all of the other death gods, which somehow still didn't boost his power above everyone else, because Nagash can never win. Chaos invaded, and Nagash is actually the last one of Sigmar's pantheon to leave him. Unsurprisingly, on his way out, he basically kicks Sigmar in the balls by leaving his forces to rot while Chaos runs rampant, and Nagash goes back home to the realm of death. Somehow, having not have expected this, Sigmar is thoroughly sick of his shit by this point and runs to Shyish to beat the hell out of him, but was so mad he kind of forgot about the whole Chaos invasion running rampant thing going on. Sigmar loses the battle because Archaon tricked him and made him get rid of Gal Maraz, and everything goes super grim and dark and looks like Games Workshop is going to end times AOS before it even begins.
Oh, well that's fun. Nagash believes in reducing his enemies to corpses, reusing their corpses as soldiers, and recycling their souls to feel his power. He's got like a very cyclical process here. I've noticed he kind of works in quirky ways. Quirky ways. Just very, it's like the rain cycle, you know what I mean? Thank you for the super chat, boss.
Nagash tries to solo Archaon, gets his shit pushed in, and then goes to pout in a corner and wait for someone else to handle chaos, because that's a good idea. Let the people who grow stronger through rampaging violence have free reign of the universe to rampage and be violent with. I see no way this can go wrong. This is a stellar idea. Not a flaw in sight for this plan. Thankfully for Nagash, though, Sigmar shows back up with his Stormcast not too long after all this. Of course, once he's back, he doesn't team up with Sigmar, this time because he thinks he can handle chaos on his own after he had some time to meditate and gain power or whatever. Once again, he fights Archaon, and take a guess how the fight goes. Hazard a guess. Go on. You'll never believe it.
Tough. I don't know. Maybe Nagash wins for once. Maybe that's definitely what happened because he's definitely known for winning, obviously.
And yeah, Nagash loses again.
What?
What a surprise. At least he didn't get his body destroyed this time, he just pussed out like a bitch. He also hates the Iden of the Deepkin for stealing souls, Slanesh and the various elf gods for basically not just handing elf souls over to him, and everyone else for having the gall to not just die and let him be in charge for all of eternity. What a guy. Oh, and he also started building pyramids again.
What? Yeah, he just really likes pyramids. Okay. Look, I got his head. We can't deny this, Lamau.
Several of them this time, so he can make a ritual to drain all magic into his realm, and he'd once again be able to kill everything everywhere. Say what you want about this sociopathic asshole, but he's very determined and certainly has a sense of showmanship. The Chaos Gods themselves even popped by to watch all this go down, and at first it was going pretty well. And then the pyramids all blew up. Oh boy, I wonder what race of people could have done.
Who would blow things up? Orcs maybe? I wonder who would blow things up.
That. Yeah, he also doesn't learn from his mistakes, like, ever. At first he was laughing at the Chaos Gods, saying he'd overtake them, then they laughed at him for being so stupid to let the exact same thing as before happen to him, only this time scaled up, and then he started laughing again, because he still considered it a success. Turns out the ritual failing still made a magical black hole that drained magic towards its center that he could kind of go into for a bit and absorb power. Also, it caused the awesomely named Necroquake, which enveloped all of reality and death magic and started making spooky ghosts pop up all over.
Okay, sorry, I'm very distracted. I wasn't paying. This is sick. This is so cool. I like the little ghosty things. Perfect.
For the place. He also unveiled the Ossiarch Bone Reapers, which are the undead space marines to Sigmar's
undead space marines? Oh no.
Fantasy Space Marines. So for a little bit, it looked like Nagash was actually making meaningful progress. Then Teclis dispelled the Necroquake and blew Nagash right the hell up. Archaon got chucked into the void of magical light that is the outskirts of the realm of light, and also Alario cast her own super magic ritual that dispelled most of what death magic was left across the mortal realm.
Oh, because life magic. So oh my god, she's actually deleting him. Is he actually not going to come back this time? Question mark?
He just can't catch a break, can he? Now he's once again reduced to not having a body and has less control over his minions than ever before. And thus have we finally reached the end of the story of Nagash.
There's no way he's coming back again, right? There's no way. He's been deleted pretty much. There's no way he comes back again.
Great necromancer. Definitely. For real this time. Certainly. Absolutely. At least until he knits his body back together. What? I just called him the Great Necromancer. You gotta stop falling for this gag. Anyway, there's this story, but why don't we...
Why, he can't keep getting away with this!
End off with some rules and such. A sort of mini do or don't, yeah? Lore-wise, take Nagash if you want to have the end-all be-all boss of your faction on the tabletop, and if you want someone who's just straight up an evil dickhead, then there's no better choice for you. Plus, he's undead, and the undead in Warhammer are awesome. No sparkling vampire BS here, just fangs, evil magic, and a whirlwind of violence.
Wait, is he saying that the vampires in Warhammer also sparkle? Wait a minute.
Imagine putting Ainz from Overlord on the table, only not pathetic in all ways but his power level. Nagash hams it up at every moment, and if you want a villain that steals the show because of how unnecessarily evil he is, here you go. As for his rules, well, he's the god of the dead. Unlike how he is in the lore, he's no goddamn pushover here. 16 wounds, 10 bravery, 9 inches of movement, and a 3+ save means that he's faster than Eldar infantry and he's gonna tank almost whatever you throw at him. He can cast and unbind up to 9 spells, degrading down to a minimum of 4 if you take away 13 wounds, which good luck with that. Naturally, he gets a bonus to casting and unbinding spells because he's the god of death, and to put it bluntly, you're joining his domain whether you like it or not. He has a ranged weapon in the form of his Death Glare, which causes d6 wounds because he's such a stone-cold motherfucker, and 3 different melee weapons to choose from just to really put the hurt on. His melee weapons hit pretty hard, not the hardest in the game, and anything next to him is certainly going to be feeling it. Of course, as is fitting for a necromancer, his magic is what you really want him for. He knows all the spells for the undead faction army he joins, and he can't join any of them since, again, he's their god. But let's just...
And he could fly. This unit can fly. So he wasn't in it before? The Nagash on tabletop's insane. They're only adding him now?
Look at his personal abilities. For the baseline level of BS he can always unleash. He can either heal 15 wounds worth of damage or bring back 15 models from the dead, depending on what he's casting on. In a war game where chaff units are incredibly useful for tying down the enemy until they're inevitably destroyed and can make or break a game depending on how they're used, Nagash simply says no. These skeletons are not going to be leaving the table. He can give a unit a boost to their ward save when it's the combat phase. On a roll of 6 for a saved wound, he reflects it right back at the person who was trying to hurt him. Soul Stealer lets him brutalize enemy units and heal himself in turn, so if you don't kill him in a single turn, he's just going to come right back to full health. And of course, my personal favorite, Hand of Dust. Within 3 inches of him, pick a model. If you successfully cast the spell, and you're almost certainly going to, especially if he's unwounded, take a dice and put it in one of your hands behind your back. If they don't pick the hand with the dice in it, the model is just dead. No wards.
What? I'm sorry. What is this? Put a dice in one of your hands, put it behind your back, and if they don't guess what it is, that's crazy. If they pick the one holding the dice, the spell has no effect. That's hilarious. What hand is it in? But someone could be like really spicy with this and be like, haha, and then throw it to their hand and be like, oh, just kidding, haha, effect. That is crazy. And you have to one-hit KO him. He sounds way too powerful. I don't know. I don't know the other characters, obviously, but this seems insane.
Save, no retreating, just gone, reduced to atoms. If they don't have a rule that's more or less specifically designed to prevent this from happening, like Gotrek or Archaon, they simply cease to be. I absolutely love how this isn't just roll a dice and on a 4 up they die, because functionally that's the same thing. They make it so you have to pick which hand it's in, which just makes me imagine some stupid Death Note level mind games going on. Like the player using Nagash is like, he knows I picked my right hand last time I used this and will be expecting my left hand, thus I'll use my right hand once more. And the other guy's like, I know he picked his right hand, so surely it would be in his left now, but he might be expecting me to know that, so he must surely have put it in his right hand again. But what if he expects me to assume this and moved it to his left because of this? This
is literally just no game, no life right here.
such a stupid little thing, but it's just fun to me to imagine it going down like that. There's no rolling, you have to play the Games Workshop mandated mind games. Anyways, lore flaws. He's a douchebag, so by picking Nagash, you are forfeiting any rights you have to the moral high ground. Yes, even if your opponent is the Skaven or Chaos, all that does is make everyone equally an asshole. Of course that has its own appeal, but if you aren't looking for the absolute bottom of the ethical barrel, then don't go for Nagash. Also, as you may have noticed, Nagash loses a lot in his lore. True, a lot of this is because he's the god of the dead, and therefore just resurrects himself later, but it still makes him look like a bit of a punk. So while the numberless horde of undead angle has your back, the leader of that numberless horde gets his nose bloodied a lot more often than not. I guess he doesn't lose as often as the Skaven do, but it's funny and destructive when they lose, whereas it's just kind of pathetic whenever Nagash loses once again. As for rules, there are still some flaws he has despite what he's got going for him. That degrading stat line means he gets worse as time goes on, and if you aren't careful, that just means that you might throw him into a situation without realizing he's no longer prepared for it. Soul Stealer can help mitigate this, but you still shouldn't put him into a melee fight with Gotrek or Archaon. Not that I should have to tell you to avoid getting into a melee fight with Gotrek, that's like telling someone don't stare at the sun for too long. And while his wounds and save do make him tanky, cannons are gonna grind him into bone meal. Artillery of any sort is the bane of his existence because they reduce his save and make it so that his wounds almost don't matter. Because with enough d6 damaging shots, it's not gonna matter if he makes 1 or 2 of those saves. Additionally, certain casters are gonna make him look almost useless, namely Techless. If your opponent is running Techless, just forfeit. While Techless can only cast half as many spells, he has a guaranteed casting value of 10 minimum, so whatever he's shooting is going off. This is on top of Techless being able to auto-unbind 1 spell per turn and make it just not happen. True, if Nagash gets into melee range of any caster, he's gonna send them straight to Shyish, Techless included, but if he can't, the upper tier ones are gonna make him look a bit silly. And given that there's decent odds there'll be an entire battle line between Nagash and the enemy Magic Man, well, he also doesn't really buff his army, so you're bringing Nagash for Nagash and not to help out other units, healing aside. Lastly, his price. 955 points means that if you aren't playing a large-scale game, he's just not showing up. Like, at least Big Turtle could show up in a game under 1500 points and feasibly not tank the army to uselessness, but Nagash will do just that. And even in larger point games, you are paying out the ass for him. He's almost certainly going to make up half, if not more, of your points allowance, so if you use him, you really need to know how to make the most out of the guy.
I was gonna say, because he seems so like overpowered, how is it able for him to be on the? But I'm glad he's mentioning all the things that are negative with it as well. Definitely interesting.
And with that, I am finally, for real, done talking about Nagash,
Oh.
Warhammer's biggest douchebag. There's a whole list of things he's done solely to be a prick, but I'm not gonna list all of them. If you want though, go to 1D4chan. At the bottom of his page is a list of the various things he's done for no reason beyond being petty and evil. It's a long list. As always, thank you to my wonderful channel members. You are the books of Nagash to my Nagash, allowing me to continue Nagashing for the
just
times to
explaining all the bad
Nagash.
things?
Such is the power of Nagash. If you'd like to support the channel, feel free to become a member or subscribe. Theoretically, hitting like also helps me, but I've yet to discover how. Either way, thank you for watching and take care out there.
Thing at the end?
Nagash, Nagash, Nagash? Nagash. Nagash, Nagash. Ah, but Nagash? Nagash, Nagash, Nagash. Nagash? Nagash.
What was that? Hello? Nagash. Nagash, Nagash.
He can't join
Nagash.
any of
Wait,
them.
I didn't mean to replay it. I was trying to get like a image so we could yap about it for a little bit. So that was interesting. Nagash, 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 Nagash. Nagash. So how many points are you allowed on like a field like that? Because they said he was a lot of it. Which makes sense. Nagash. Nagash's got a sick trailer for Total Warhammer if it's only like 1-2 minutes long if you want to quickly see it. I'm kind of already on a time crunch today, but maybe another day. Because we're already an hour in and I have possibly 2 other videos to watch. But yeah, it says Warhammer's biggest douchebag. This is the video about men. I don't know. He seems kind of not nice. That was the biggest jerk. Biggest jerk. You know what I mean? Okay, let's get on
This is because
okay, pause that one. Now we're gonna go to okay, last time we watched was it crime investigations, but it was like people that still weren't found. This one's gonna be a long one, so I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get the raccoon ones. This one's 40 minutes and we're already an hour in. But this is more crime story time. Cops unlock babysitter's phone and cover horrifying secret. And this is why this is why I'm always afraid of somebody watching my child. And this is like and I know this isn't everything, but this is why I'd be terrified. Because I'm serial killer still on the loose. Yeah, oh yeah, serial killer is still on the loose was the last one. So I'm
Can I have a bottle, please?
huh? Hey, hold on. All right, sorry, I'm back. I had to get something for the BB. Huh, okay, I'm back. True crime caught. I mean, I think it's interesting. It makes me terrified of the world, but they're interesting. They're definitely interesting. All right, let's see. Let us learn.
Like eyeball was like moving up and down, kind of like she was having a seizure.
Head trauma, skull fractures, brain bleed.
She also has some broken ribs.
I hope the volume is also good. This is like literally one of my worst fears now as a parent.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Oh my lord. She called me on the phone like crying and she's like, "Did you drop my baby? There's a huge lump on her left side of her brain." And I was like, "No, I would not ever drop your baby on purpose." You know what I mean?
When a 2-month-old baby girl is rushed to the hospital after suffering a seizure in the care of her babysitter, doctors discover alarming injuries that raise more questions than answers. As investigators search for the truth, they find themselves facing conflicting accounts, shifting blame, and a story that begins to feel hauntingly familiar.
Did she tell you before the same situation before it's happened?
No.
What I don't understand is, thankfully this person's dumb because they recorded it apparently because it was on their phone. So thank goodness. But this is genuinely terrifying.
You didn't mention that.
The following is based on official police records, and the footage has never been seen before until now. Please note that all persons charged with a crime are presumed innocent unless and until proven guilty in a court of law. In Oklahoma, on the morning of July 14, 2023, 26-year-old Holly Marie Shepard contacts Ponca City 911 dispatchers.
Hi, I was trying to see if you can send an officer, or not an officer, sorry, like an ambulance. What's going on there? So babysitting a 2-month-old baby, and she's kind of acting a little funny. She's kind of been a little cranky. I just want to make sure that she's okay. And, like, her oxygen level, she's kind of, like, limp and kind of breathing funny. Her mom said she's been sick and stuff, and she's just kind of acting, like, out of it. It's not normal. I just want to make sure she's okay because she's in my care.
Paramedics find the infant, a 2-month-old baby girl named Cora, in a dire state, with part of her head appearing deformed. However, when they reach the mother on the phone, she panics, explaining Cora has no defects of any kind. At the hospital, the truth of Cora's condition begins to emerge, confirmed in a grim call between officers.
Once I got to the hospital, they took the child in to get CT imaging. And as they were finishing that up and taking the child back, the child started seizing after the CT imaging. So there's traumatic bleeding on the right side of the brain, and that's the injury that can be seen on the outside where it's kind of... Hold on.
How? Oh my God. Yeah, this is like literally as a new-time parent, this is like a 2-month-old. That's terrifying. The poor baby. Translation, we're legally allowed to call this person guilty as sin, even though everything in this video implies the case. Well, that and the title is literally there was stuff found on her phone. So I'm like, thank God she's like incriminating herself, allegedly. But like,
Let me pull up the photos the nurse took.
Okay, and there was a visible mark on the right side of the child's scalp, I guess is what I might have to call you back, but I think that's what I needed for the time being.
Sounds good.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Okay.
All right, bye.
oh. This would literally be me. I'm trying not to cry.
Due to the severity of her condition, baby Cora is flown by helicopter to a different hospital, where she fights for her life. With unexplained injuries, investigators turn to the 3 people who were in the home with the baby. The babysitter Holly, her mother-in-law Doretta, and Doretta's sister Doreen.
There were multiple people in the house too? What? Why would you need a babysitter if there's... Okay.
Each with their own account for what happened that morning.
So I got
Imagine being sick enough to not only legitimately harm a baby, but also record the process. I'm thinking that's what it is, and that's... It's like messed up that it gets even worse, which is crazy.
Holy statement, I got grandma's statement, and I got grandma's sister statement.
Okay.
All 3 of them did not add up.
Investigators will examine the accounts of all 3 women, but the real challenge is figuring out where the lies end and the truth begins. According to the babysitter, Holly, 2-month-old Cora had just been laid to bed for a nap when she began acting unusual. The officer begins photographing the crib where Holly put her down when Doretta calls out to her.
Can I look in the crib?
No.
Can you just tell me what it looks like? Is there blankets in there? Like somebody's been sleeping in it?
There's blankets in there. I can't tell you if someone's been sleeping in there or not.
Can I just...
No.
Yeah, okay.
Gotta keep that room. Is there
That's suspicious.
something? What are you thinking?
I can't figure out why she would put the baby in the baby bed. Well, she usually puts the baby on the big bed. When she's taking a nap, so... If I say something, would it go against me?
If you say something won't go against you, you're not under arrest.
No. Okay. I don't want to say nothing that's gonna... I don't want to hurt her, but I just want if the baby fell off the bed.
However, doctors noted injuries that point to something far more severe. Along with serious bleeding around her brain, they also found scattered skull fractures, as though something traumatically hit the child's head. They begin questioning Holly, who was recently left in charge of the 2-month-old and her 4-year-old sister.
I'm a member on Facebook of a Ponca City area moms group.
Okay.
That I kind of talk on there to like just fellow moms, do like play dates and stuff with other kids because I have 2 kids of my own. Mackenzie, the mom, she posted on there that she needed childcare. And I told her I was staying at home. You know, I have 2 kids. Met her at McDonald's, and like her and her husband were like, okay, yeah, I like her. So I just started that this week on Tuesday. But yeah, I mean, I don't know if she'll continue with me because of this, but she won't really talk to me. But yeah,
I wouldn't talk to her either. How? Yeah, this sort of thing is I'm getting really sad. It's like stressing me out even more. Thank goodness I am able to take care of my baby. It's hard to say what I'm feeling. Combination of deep sadness and rage. Yeah, I cannot explain what would happen if something happened to my baby and people are just being so casual about it, because like if anything ever happened, I would be like, one, freaking out. She's way too calm. She's way too calm. Be like, yeah, I don't think she's gonna like call me after this. And, you know, I have 2 kids. I would be crying. I'd be freaking out. I'd be asking about updates for the baby, being like, is the baby okay? I mean, so I feel like it's very obvious because you could always tell during like interviews how people act and like how their body language is. She's acting way too calm. She is fidgeting with her fingers a lot. And she just looks comfy. So something just not, she definitely did something.
So $100 a month, that's
it's like $300 a week. So she just paid me today, and then, yeah, so.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, it is.
In their initial Facebook messages, which started 1 week earlier, Holly had introduced herself as a wife and mother of 2, stating she has tons of caregiving experience. Mackenzie admitted she was nervous about leaving her children with a stranger, but said Holly reassured her by offering several family members as references, including her mother-in-law, Doretta.
And how many kids?
Oh, it was the babysitter's mother-in-law. I thought it was I thought it was the baby's mother-in-law. Okay.
What are you watching for?
Just 2.
Just 2?
Yeah.
Okay.
So my 2 go to daycare.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
And then, which is kind of weird because I'm like, well, I miss my kids, you know, but my kids love their daycare, so.
Holly goes on to explain what happened after Sam took their 2 children to daycare and headed to work, leaving Holly and Doretta alone with Mackenzie's 2 children.
So 911 was called at 10:37. So okay, I made her a bottle around 10:15-ish. And I was sitting on the couch and I was holding her. She's been kind of cranky this morning, so I don't know if she was dealing with like some gas or what was going on, but she was kind of cranky. So I fed her. She drank maybe 2 ounces of her bottle, and then she fell asleep in my arm. So I put the bottle down, kind of covered up with the blanket, and like sat there to make sure that she was like asleep. Then I stand up and I bring her to my daughter's bed in the crib and just set her down. Kind of swaddled her, turned on the nightlight and the little lullaby music thing, and then walked out to kind of handle. I left the door open, of course, to hear her, but to tend to Audrey. And then probably around like I want to say 10:35, so 2 minutes before I called. I noticed, like, I was sitting there playing with Audrey on the floor, and I just hear Cora, which is the baby's name, just like scream cry, like a hurt cry. And like our cats are outside. There's no, like, she doesn't roll over yet. She's only 2 months. And so I ran in there, turned the light on, picked her up, and I noticed that like her arms were just like stretched out, like they were so stiff, and her eyes were kind of like, I don't know how to describe it.
Can you show me? If you don't know.
Like my eyes?
Yeah.
Oh, like she was like she kept like
so blinking.
Yeah, that and like her like eyeball was like moving up and down, kind of like she was having a seizure. And I'm a certified medical assistant, so I kind of like know the signs of that, and it looked like a seizure to me. So, I just immediately I picked her up, and like I said, I saw that, and then her arm.
Aren't you not supposed to move things when they're having a seizure? That's what I thought. I'm sitting here really see they want to have my own kids one day and suffering children. Yeah, it's one thing to hurt people. Hurting kids is like another whole thing. Like there's so many things that I want to say, and I do not wish well on this woman.
Her arms were stiff, and she was kind of breathing funny. So I was like, okay, I'm calling 911.
After learning of Cora's injuries, the infant's mother called Holly to demand answers.
She called me and she said, hey, did you drop my baby? Like, she called me on the phone, like, crying, and she's like, did you drop my baby? There's a huge lump on her left side of her brain or her head. And I was like, no, I would not ever drop your baby on purpose. You know what I mean?
Okay, funny that she says on purpose though, because like obviously she could be like, oh, if I drop the baby, I would tell you, not like, oh, dropped it on purpose. So that seems sus, her wording there as well.
I mean, there's no way.
And
Yeah.
so where were Doretta and her sister at, like, whenever the baby was asleep?
They were in the living room.
Doretta is brought in for questioning, and although she recalls the morning much like Holly does, one important detail doesn't quite align.
Yeah, she added on purpose very fast. So it seems weird. Like, I would never drop your baby on purpose. And it's like, so did you drop them on accident then? Or like, so something's happening here. Yeah, it's a very sus choice of words. Yeah, I don't like their body language. This is making me angry and sad, and I just want to hug my baby.
Well, Holly was feeding the baby, the little girl was playing, and when my sister come in, we stood there talking. Well, Holly was holding the baby and started crying a little bit. Well, me and my sister talked, and we went out in the yard and loaded up the air conditioners, and we stood out there and talked. Out there in the car, you know. Well, then Holly comes out of the house and said that she had to call the ambulance. And I said, why? She said, well, the baby's not, something's wrong with the baby.
All right, so the only person that was inside the house was Holly at that time, and you and your sister were outside.
Right.
Though Holly claimed Doretta and Doreen were with her in the living room.
I was just going to pause to say that. Literally, they were in the living room. Thank you, Crims. Well, thank you. Appreciate it. This is like stressing me out, though.
Doretta's account puts the two of them outside, leaving Holly alone with the baby before placing her in the crib. Still, Doretta remains unconvinced that Cora was ever in the crib at all.
I'm thinking.
Need to try just to show my rage. Yeah, I do not have nice words for people that harm children, especially like a 2-month-old that's just a little baby. Or 2 or 3. I think she said 3. She's just a little baby.
That she put the baby on the bed, and the baby fell off.
Okay.
I'm thinking.
You think that that's what happened?
I am thinking very much.
Okay, what makes you think that?
Well, because she has, as far as I could, this week, she has never put that baby in that crib. She's always put it on her bed.
Despite this unusual change in routine, Holly stands firm that the baby was in the crib. Before then, she had otherwise been in her arms or Doretta's.
But the only time she was alone with the baby is whenever I was in the kitchen for maybe 3-4 minutes.
She alone? Who?
Doretta. Like, she was holding the baby for me.
By herself whenever you were in the kitchen?
While I was making the bottle.
And where was she at with the baby?
On the couch, sitting on the couch.
Sitting on the couch. Did she tell you if something happened while she was
No, when I asked her, and she said, no, not that I can recall. But she does have, she's showing some signs of, like, dementia and stuff. But I would feel like if it's something serious, or I would have heard of if she dropped her or hit her, which, I don't think she would do that.
Now, in your kitchen.
Weird that she brings it up like, oh, that she would hit her. Sus.
You said Doretta was in the living room. In the kitchen, can you see from the kitchen to the living room, or is there a wall?
There's a wall.
There's a wall? Okay.
Yeah.
So that's the only time that Cora was out of your sight, line of sight,
Correct.
not with you, not anything like that.
Before addressing this with Doretta, the detective explains the seriousness of the situation and delivers a shocking update about Cora's injuries.
You can see it's a little red right there, and it's starting to swell, right? You can see the difference where the swelling's starting to spread, right?
Yeah.
By her temple.
Oh, yeah. No.
So, okay. There's also, she also has some broken ribs.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Oh,
okay.
Lord.
So, that's why it's important for me to find out what happened or how everything happened. At any point in time, were you left by yourself with Cora, the little baby?
I left with her?
Yes. Were you, like, left by yourself, or you were messing with her? No?
I was all in the kitchen at all times.
Yeah.
I mean, in the living room.
Okay, with
Holly and the little girl and my sister.
So at no point in time were you by yourself with Cora?
No.
Okay. Now, she also mentioned that you had the onsets of dementia. That's what she mentioned. Is that true?
No.
So the babysitter is framing her own mother-in-law?
That's not true?
No. I taking medicine, but I don't have dementia. I mean, I might forget a little bit, but I was outside.
Okay. When she went to go make a bottle for her in the kitchen, she said that there was a wall in the kitchen that you can't see into the living room, and that you were left by yourself with the baby, and that that's the only time that she did not have any eyes on the baby.
Sir, no, sir. That is not true. Sir, she did not. I did not be in that front room with that baby by myself at all.
With conflicting stories from the two women, investigators questioned Doretta's sister, Doreen. Her statement validates one of their stories, but rips an entirely new hole.
Let me guess. She supports her sister because it wasn't the mother-in-law that did it. It was the babysitter that hurt the baby. I hate this. Yes, I don't think I could watch videos in the future involving babies because I'm like on the verge of crying and angry and
In another,
we just got up and went outside and was taking air conditioners.
Only you and Doretta. And Holly stayed inside.
Right. And Holly came out. She said, something's wrong with the baby's breathing. Can you come and check? So we ran into the house. The baby was in the carrier. And she said, well, what do you mean? She said, well, she just stopped breathing right. And so she said, I called the mother and the ambulance, you know. And so we stood there and waited for the ambulance to come. I stayed in the house with the other little girl. And my sister and Holly had went out to the ambulance. But as far as, I don't know what happened.
Okay.
You know, I didn't hear nothing drop, fall, or anything.
Okay.
her account confirms that she and Doretta were both outside, placing Holly alone with baby Cora inside the house. But her claim that the baby was found in the car seat rather than the crib raises new questions.
Did she say why she had the baby in the car seat?
No, she did say I was fixing to go get some diapers or something, and she said, but I have to wait here for the ambulance now and the mother.
Okay.
This creates a gap in Holly's account. Was she putting the baby down for a nap as she claimed, or preparing to leave with her? Detectives spoke to Holly's husband Sam, who showed them Facebook messages from Holly that morning. She'd been planning to bring him a drink at work, writing, "It'll be a minute feeding the baby." Shortly after, she dialed 911. After the ambulance left, Sam says she met him in person and told him the baby had a seizure before returning to the house, where police were waiting to speak with her. She then sent messages saying, "I'm scared our babies will be taken away. I didn't do anything. I don't abuse children." She also snapped a photo of one of the officers writing FML, an abbreviation which commonly means my life.
Why is she worried about her kids getting taken away or your kids taken away?
Yeah,
Just because
that's kind of sus. I'm worried my kid's going to be taken away. Well, if you didn't do anything, that it should be fine. Like, they would find evidence of the baby having a seizure, so...
Yeah, she has to get involved in. They're not... No. Like I told her, like, if the baby had a seizure, they're not going to be able to prove it.
It's an injury.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a seizure.
It's a seizure that was caused by an injury. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Speaking once more with Doretta, the detective wonders if Holly is telling the truth or possibly shifting the blame.
She's lying about you being alone with her today.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely, because I had my sister there, and then...
Do you have any idea why she's trying to say that you were by herself, or why she's trying to blame it on you?
I don't know. And that's exactly what my sister said that she'd do. I mean, my daughter would say. She said, Mama, she said she hurt that baby. And you bet that she's going to try to put blame on you.
Okay.
He wanted to go get the kids, and I walked him out and around, and then she left too.
Okay.
Is she supposed to?
She wasn't supposed to.
Huh?
She wasn't supposed to.
He asked her to hang tight.
Holly is found walking 4 blocks away from the police station, and they bring her back to confront her with everything they've uncovered.
Here's the deal. I just need you to tell me the truth so that I can try to tell the doctors down there what happened, okay? There's certain things that you kind of lied to me about that were verified by other people, okay? The first thing is you didn't tell me that you had the baby in a car seat, that you were going to take the baby with you to go buy some diapers at the same time that you were going to take a drink or supposed to take a drink to Sam, right? And during that time, you were the only one that was inside the house by yourself with the baby. You told me that Doreen and Doretta were both in the house at that time. Whenever the baby started crying, then you went in there and freaked out, and then they went outside, okay? They're both telling me different. your mother-in-law got really offended whenever I asked her about her dementia and got really upset about it.
Okay.
That is very easily verifiable, which she said, you can contact my doctor, here's his name, blah, 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 here's the information. That it's really easily be verifiable if she does have dementia or not.
Right.
Okay? I just need you to be straight with me, and I don't feel like you are. If you're going to keep playing these games, you're just going to make it worse on yourself instead of just being honest with me. That's all I'm asking you to do. Okay?
I don't like this.
I'm not trying to take your kids. I don't care about taking your kids. I care about finding out what happened and finding out the truth. That's all I'm after, is the truth. But you keep saying okay, but you don't want to tell me the truth.
I personally don't know if I'm gonna be able to get through all this, so I want to know what happens, but I am just like furious. Like I'm angry and sad and
About what happened?
It's not that I don't want to. I'm just trying to remember because I'm all frazzled because this is crazy.
As Holly continues to withhold the truth, another detective steps in and takes a more direct approach.
We've already established the timeline. You were the only one with the kid, okay? Okay. This kid has very bad injuries, okay, to its head. Okay. Something that only could have happened whenever the kid was with you today. Okay? And I'm going to give you the opportunity to not look like this monster sitting here that's not telling the truth.
I mean, she's a monster for hurting the baby, allegedly, quote unquote, anyway, but still.
And be a compassionate young woman and tell us what happened to this child. Okay? If not, then I'm going to make you out to be the monster that you are. The baby's in surgery and may die. Do you want to be a killer or do you want to be remorseful? Are you a killer? Then tell me what happened to that child. This is your opportunity. I'm listening, young lady.
Yeah, I want to know if the child's okay. That's literally all I want to know. And that justice is served, to be honest, because, oh, God. Feels like we're near the end. We're only halfway through what could possibly happen. I don't know.
So I put her down for her nap. That was true. It was in her crib. On the way back, Audrey had a toy on the floor.
I already feel like she's gonna be like, and I tripped, and this is gonna, because like if an accident happens, you just say it right away, and then you rush them to a hospital. So like every silent second is a moment they're waving a new lie. Yeah, this is 100% a lie. Like, oh, I tripped and I hit her head, and like, nope, this is a lie. Regardless of circumstance, you're a monster. The second you do everything, you could save the baby's lying about it. Yeah, like if something happened, I accidentally tripped and like hurt something, like even like when I'm holding like the cats, right? Because I don't want to use my baby. If I'm holding a cat and I accidentally like, I don't know, scratch its nose or something, I'm immediately like, oh my God, I hurt its nose, are you okay? Or like, because like there's times where I've accidentally stepped on like the cat's like tail or, paws, and immediately I'm like, oh my God, are they okay? Are they moving it? And I check on them throughout the day, make sure they're okay, call the vet if something seems, so it's like, it would be an immediate reaction and I'd be freaking out and crying and like, just being like, oh, well, yeah, haha, I tripped is just like, this is not, oh.
And I accidentally tripped.
Yep, see?
I'm so sorry.
You should be. For lying.
But then there's something more, because you're saying she's tripped, but the baby also has broken ribs. So, like...
I was scared.
But I also needed you to... You had all the opportunity to cry before. I'm sorry, I'm not very remorseful right now because you sat here and lied. Okay? But I also need you to tell the entire story. Where you tripped, what hit her head, because something hit her head very badly. She has skull fractures across the whole back of her head.
Also, how does that happen if your I guess it fell onto the floor? I don't know. Sure, the angle, but those crocodile tears are failing to come out. Yeah, that, and she stopped immediately. If I'm crying, I need like a couple of minutes to not like, yeah. The moment he calls her out, like, hey, we're not falling for this, stops. If she fell on top of the baby, that'd be bad. I mean, but wouldn't more be broken besides her ribs and the back of her? That seems so weird because the ribs are on the front. I mean, I guess, I don't know.
So, Start over and tell me what happened. If you tripped, you tell me what she hit, what you did afterwards, everything.
Okay. So I was walking, like I said, from the crib, which is in my bedroom, out of the hallway into the living room. There was a big, like my son's big monster truck right there, and I fell over, and I tripped, and she fell out of my hand, and just hit the floor. Like I don't remember anything being underneath her head.
The bruising is, I wouldn't say cylindrical, but long.
Okay.
Like edge of the crib, edge of the wall, edge of. He's being serious about. I can give the doctors information about what happened.
No, I know. I'm just trying to remember if there was anything under her head. All I know is I tripped and fell. Yeah, her head hit the trailer of the car. It was like this.
So she wasn't sure what happened, but then it hit this is, oh my God. I believe anything comes out of her mouth this stage, she's in full preservation mode, trying to throw others the bus. Yeah, and something saying that I just tripped, and then being like, oh, well, I don't know what was under her head. Oh, it was the back of the car. This is just...
And then what happened?
And then I picked her up and called 911.
Is that whenever she had the stiff arms and
Yes.
had a seizure whenever she hit her head?
Yes. And her eyes were doing bad and freaking out. I didn't mean to fall.
So your first inclination of having an accident with a 2-month-old child was to save yourself and not tell somebody what happened.
Didn't she say she was a nurse or something too? She had medical experience. So
I was just scared.
The detective leaves the room to provide an update while the other remains with Holly. Still questioning how the baby could have landed on the same toy Holly tripped over, he allows her to demonstrate the fall.
Oh, that's right. It was the same toy, too. You can't trip over a toy and the baby's... Oh, So I
was walking with her like this, and I guess I tripped and fell because I remember my foot going like this. And then I get, I guess my foot kicked it, and then when she fell like this on it.
Okay. So when she fell, how did you drop her? Did you go down with her? How does that, show me exactly how it went.
Okay. I'm trying to, okay. So I tripped, my foot had her, and then I guess it kicked that. So then I fell, and I guess I let go of her because that's when she hit her head like that. I guess this would be that. Because that's her head.
So did you drop her from up top all the way, or what?
I think I had her mid, and then I lost.
Dropped her?
Yeah, and then I lost my balance.
Okay. Then you dropped her as you were going down.
Yes. Yeah.
And so did you drop her completely from both hands? Okay. So she hit the floor.
I think she hit the back of the toy, on the trailer part. I'll just show you. It's a big, semi, plastic truck. I wish I had a picture of it, but yeah. Sorry.
You're okay.
But I didn't purposely hurt her or purposely hit her on the
Then you shouldn't have lied about it at first. Come on.
floor.
So where is it now?
Huh?
Where is it now?
It's just in the living room.
Okay. Did you move it?
Yeah, we moved it.
Okay. Who's we?
Or I did. Yeah.
You said we.
Sorry. No. It was me.
The plastic truck and trailer was found at the home, though investigators noted that dust particles were present on top of the toy, and it didn't appear to have been disturbed.
Here's the deal.
Okay.
There was dust on top of it. Yeah. Shocker. She's lying.
Again, I feel like you're bullshitting me.
Okay.
All right, and I don't like it. Okay. Have I treated you like you're an idiot? Have I insulted you in any way?
Oh, yeah. I'm literally not even in the room with her, and it's... Yeah, your credibility is... You already lied, and then you say it's a toy, and then it's oh, we moved it. Oh, just kidding. I moved it. It's...
Way by treating you like you're an idiot.
No.
Don't do the same thing to me.
Okay.
That's exactly what you're doing, and I don't like it. Okay. You understand? What are they going to find that's different from what you have told me?
So I've been really busy today.
Okay.
So I fell twice today, but the first time was this morning, before this accident.
Yeah, what does being busy have to do with tripping? I guess if you're rushing, but still, like...
And she did not hit her head.
So you fell twice with her in your arms?
Yes.
Hmm.
Yeah. And I usually don't drink coffee. I drank like 2 cups of coffee because I was tired and I've been like really shaky today and dizzy. So here's the couch. And like I said, I lay her like on the couch and I kneel, right? So after I changed her diaper and her clothes to the pink onesie with the black pants, I pick her up and I went to go throw the diaper in the trash in the kitchen. And I was in my socks and I just kind of lost my balance. I was kind of like, I got really, really dizzy. And this time I had her like cradled.
But at this point, if you're feeling dizzy, wouldn't you like call someone to help out? Like, hey, I'm feeling dizzy and I'm holding a baby in my arms. Like, there's other people in the house.
And I kind of just fell like straight down. And I sat there for a minute because I like saw stars. And then I got up. So I like clinched onto her. So she didn't fall. She didn't hit her head.
So that's where she's explaining that the ribs broke.
But I just wanted to tell you that but that's not really pertinent to like her head injury.
Okay.
Per se.
She's got 2 skull fractures on opposite sides of the head.
Okay.
Okay?
Yes.
If you get hit on this side,
Yeah.
you're not going to have a skull fracture on this side. You understand? Again,
Yes.
stop lying to me. You understand? I don't know why you keep doing that.
Because she's trying to save herself. Ooh.
Detective asks Holly to demonstrate again exactly how the baby fell. Not once, but twice.
Like, you want me to drop this when she drops?
Drop it, yeah.
Okay, I just didn't know.
Yeah,
Okay.
drop it.
All right.
It's not going to hurt my feelings any.
Okay. So, like, I had her, and I tripped, and she fell, like, right here.
Like that?
Yes.
And hit the
truck.
The truck. Okay,
Yeah.
And then second time?
Okay. So, I was on my side, and I think that time she hit, like, the right side. Like,
okay.
I mean, it looked like she fell just...
After she just said it doesn't relate to the head injury, okay?
Straight down.
Mm-hmm.
Not really any particular side. So that's where I'm kind of confused to why she has 2, whatever.
2 skull fractures?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So you go to pick her up?
Yes. So I kind of did this, and I grabbed her like this, and I did this, and I got, like, I don't know how you would say that, like off balance.
Okay.
And just dropped her from
How?
here.
How'd you drop her?
Like this.
Like that? A second time? Dropping.
And no one heard screaming either? Like...
From even, how tall are you?
Like 5'6 and a half.
5'6 and a half?
Yeah.
5
But,
feet, 6 inches is not going to cause a skull fracture to happen.
Okay.
It takes a tremendous amount of force. She either had to hit something that's super hard, okay,
Yeah.
like this, or you had to grab her, be so frustrated and mad that you slammed her. You understand?
Yeah.
Oh, that poor
you
baby.
You can't change the laws of physics as much as you want to. You can't.
Okay.
Okay? Just like you can't change the gravitational pull and how fast somebody falls. You cannot change that.
Okay.
Okay? What you're telling me about just dropping her and her falling down is not going to cause that amount of damage.
Okay.
Okay?
Well, I just wanted to tell you what the absolutely truth was.
So you dropped her about halfway down, about 3 feet off the ground when you tripped, and she hit the
first time.
The first time.
And then
when
I picked
she hit the thing. You picked her up, and the last time you're fully up,
Yes.
you said you dropped her again.
Yes.
And why wouldn't you report it after the first time? Like, come on.
And that's what happened.
Yeah.
And that's not going to change.
No.
With Holly now committed to her revised story, investigators turn their attention to why she made an attempt to cover up the truth.
Why didn't you tell anybody to begin with?
Because I was scared to get locked up, but here I am.
Accidents happen all the time.
I know, but I don't want to have children.
When you cover it up.
Mm-hmm.
Look at me.
Looks worse.
I need you to stop crying right now, okay? Because
notice how she's crying more when she thinks she's gonna get caught. Yeah, she's too calm about it. I would literally be like crying the entire time. I know different people handle things differently, but if you hurt a baby, like
you've cried so many different times for so many different reasons that I don't even know if it's the truth right now that you're actually feeling remorseful.
I am.
You get what I'm saying? Like I don't even know. Like how are you even able to look at that mother and just stone cold, not feel terrible or remorseful for what you did?
Like, I cried the whole way from my house to meeting her at the hospital. And her husband were already, like, bawling. I didn't want to add to that.
Though Holly repeatedly claimed she was crying over the incident, Cora's grandmother said that when she arrived to pick up the 4-year-old, it was Doretta who was in tears, while Holly appeared completely straight-faced.
Really? She wasn't even, of course she wasn't upset by it.
I didn't feel like you guys were thinking that I just threw this baby on the floor.
Honestly, I think that's what you did. I think that's exactly what you did. And you just don't want to say it because you're afraid of any consequences or whatever. But I honestly...
Defensive crying is a sociopathic tendency. Well, it's like she only cries when she thinks she's getting in trouble, which, like, I understand being freaked out, but, like, if I fell and hurt a baby while I was trying to watch them, babysitting them, I would, like, lose my mind. And when she says how it's going to affect her, she hasn't asked about the baby at all. Oh, I'd be constantly being like, is the baby okay? Is the baby okay? Is it okay? Is there an update? Yeah, she does not care except her own safety.
I think that's what it is. I think she was cranky. It's not your baby. You don't know what its normal things are. Mm-hmm. Your anxiety kicked in. And before you knew it, you were doing something that you were like, holy crap, that's not what I meant to do. I think that's what happened.
And I hate that you think that.
You're the one that's going to have to explain it to them. And you're the one that's going to have to explain why A and B don't add up to C. The doctor at the children's hospital is going to tell us exactly what happened and how it happened and how hard that the baby's skull was hit. Okay? Babies and young children, they are the hardest ones to break bones.
Wait, really?
Because they're not set like yours or mine. Their bones are still growing. They're really, really flexible. You really have to do something with a lot of force to be able to break their bones. You can't change that, and you can't hide that.
Like, I don't know what...
How much force did she hit this poor baby with? Oh my, I'm literally gonna cry.
You're wanting me to do. I'm not gonna lie and say I just dropped her because I'm mad. I would never do that on purpose, ever. Like, yes, I have anxiety. Yes, I have depression. I have all this stuff. I'm on meds for it. Crying does not bother me. Like, my kids whine all the time. I don't hit them and I don't abuse them. I'm not an abuser. So, I mean, I don't know what you want me to tell you. I didn't purposely throw her or purposely drop her. Like...
No, you literally hit her. Oh my god, you did. Yeah, please. Oh my, this is making me so angry. I'm
already locked up. There's no point in lying to you. Or lying to the judge or whoever else I talk to. There is no point.
All right.
But I don't know why you're putting me in jail when I didn't do it on purpose.
You lied several times about why you did.
Oh, this lady heard this baby and I'm losing it. Yeah, she literally lied the first time. Like, I haven't been lying. She literally admitted that she lied the first story. Oh.
Did what you did.
Because I didn't want my kids to be taken away, and now they are.
Though she maintains this new version of events is the honest truth, a shocking revelation will soon shed an entirely new light on the case. For now, she's arrested and booked into the Kay County Detention Center. 5 days later, officers present a warrant to search her phone and face a new challenge.
Oh, no.
What's the password to your phone?
Oh, gosh, you would ask me that. I don't have it in my hand, so, I'm trying to remember.
How do you not remember your own phone password? Hello?
Sorry. It's kind of inappropriate, so
it's okay.
I'm sorry. Okay, so it's capital S.
Okay.
Tay. THE. FUCKOUT 29 and then 4 exclamation points.
Huh.
Okay, so your password is a number on your phone because it pops up with a number. So does it also allow you to do letters? Because your password is just like any other phone.
Yeah.
So like when
I was gonna say, why is she giving letters? This is this is I'm a mix between wanting to cry and being really, really mad at this lady. Very angry.
whenever you click on the phone.
Yeah.
Still, Holly insists that her phone doesn't have a numeric password and never supplies one. Investigators later obtain the correct PIN code from her husband, Sam. They discover that while at the crime scene, Holly made several internet searches, including can a seizure cause a brain bleed? Will a 2-month-old survive a brain bleed? And what happens if a baby has a fractured skull? But it's what Doretta told investigators during her interview that truly left them stunned.
Did she tell you before the same situation before has happened?
No, she didn't mention that.
I'm sorry, I'm bleeding.
So what?
This has happened before? Oh my god. Yeah, thank goodness she's dumb though. Because like she should not, like, imagine if she continued babysitting after this.
What's happened before?
Should I say anything?
Doretta hesitated, but after the detective pointed
She heard your granddaughter. Yeah, say something. What do you... Hello?
out that Holly tried placing the blame on her, she started to share what she knew.
Probably about, she had 3 other kids. She was married.
Okay.
Was a babysitter for this lady. And the lady brought the baby over. And Holly's husband was there too. So when the baby came, she brought the baby over, she put the car seat down on the couch and they had the blanket over it. I don't know, forget if it was a little boy or little girl, I don't remember. She said the mom told her she don't have to take the...
Oh, Doretta's mother-in-law. Okay, not the kids. Okay. I'm sorry. Family, yeah, blah, blah, blah. If you hurt a baby, I would... you're gone. Nope. The fact that anyone you trust to watch your child is to Google what's happened to someone with a fractured skull is mind-boggling. I mean, as a parent, I've been like, did I swaddle my baby too hard? Is it like, is she okay? Like, I've looked up stuff like that to make sure the baby's okay, but the brain bleeds? No. Holy. Having such a good time at work today and it was going too well. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Blanket off because she sleeps all the time. Well, Holly took it off, and there was a bump on the baby's head. They called an ambulance, took the baby to the hospital. The baby died.
The case, which occurred in Oklahoma City in 2018, bears striking similarities that are impossible to ignore.
And you would leave her alone with another baby?
She'd met the mom on Facebook and began babysitting her 3-week-old infant. 3 days
3-week-old?
later, Holly reported there was something wrong with the baby. She was rushed to the hospital where it was discovered the baby had multiple skull fractures and bleeding in the brain, resulting in her death. However, according to news articles at the time, police were unable to prove the injury happened under Holly's care, and no charges were ever filed. Now, in a case that echoes the past, baby Cora is fighting to stay alive. Still searching for answers, investigators follow up with Doretta and Sam, hoping Holly may have shared the truth with one of them.
Cora's injuries are not plausible from what she told us. Okay?
On what part?
On any of it.
Dropping the baby?
Yes. Yes. Dropping the baby being hit, all that stuff. It's not a possibility. How she's telling me that it occurred is not a possibility. Okay? Now, I know whenever I spoke to you, you knew about the incident that happened in Oklahoma City. Okay? You didn't bring that up to me. So that's why I'm here is, has she told you anything about that? Has she told you anything about what happened in Oklahoma City? Because I'll be honest with you, the Oklahoma City thing, met somebody on Facebook, was babysitting, baby was in a car seat, head trauma, skull fractures, brain bleed. Did you question her about this after this incident?
I did. About this one?
Yes, about...
Not to take away from the video, but why is there a toilet randomly there?
The Oklahoma City in this? Because, I mean, they're mirrored.
Like I said, I didn't find out about the truck
until yesterday at the meeting, and then it clicked that you guys took it.
Yeah. I didn't know. I mean,
She
I
told her
didn't even miss
story.
the truck. I mean, it was there that morning. And I don't know what the little girls told you, but she was out over here playing. So I don't know if they questioned her, if she would mention about something Holly followed. I don't know. I know y'all probably can't tell me
That's a
nothing.
big question that I have too, what she
Yeah,
said,
we'll just-
because I know she was in there.
According to Cora's grandmother, she asked the 4-year-old if her sister had fallen. The girl initially said no, but later stated, the couch hit baby sister.
So all she's told you is just that.
Wait, I thought her kids were at daycare.
She went into the room, picked up the baby, came back out, tripped over the truck, and dropped the baby.
Dropped the baby, put her in the car seat.
Put her in the car seat. So just one time.
Yeah, all she said was one time. There's one message on there that I asked about it, and she wanted to know what I wanted to know, and I told her I want to know the truth. She said that she didn't drop the baby twice, and that
She was babysitting 2 kids. One was a toddler, that was an infant. Oh. Oh my God. Well, at least because kids won't lie to you. So that's really good. The kid was like, oh yeah, I hit the couch. So should have it sounds weird, but interviewed the kid as well to see if the baby knew anything.
you misunderstood her or something.
No, I didn't. She told me that.
See.
I did not misunderstand her.
I have the message if you'd like to see it.
She flat out told me I dropped the baby twice. If there's anything at all that she has told you where she's telling you what happened to Cora, you need to let us know.
Oh, I definitely will.
You need to let us know. If she tells you anything about what happened in Oklahoma City, or if you know anything about what happened in Oklahoma City, you need to let us know, because I'm telling you right now, from experience, Oklahoma City and this is mirrored. It's mirrored.
Still, Sam insists that he was lied to and has no new information. In uncovered Facebook conversations with his brother, Sam expressed frustration over being lied to by Holly, adding that he needs to cut ties and contact for the sake of his kids. Holly, meanwhile, continued to send him texts from the jail's messaging system, begging him not to leave her. Whatever the truth about Cora may be, it isn't revealed in any of the messages.
I just don't know what could have happened, to be honest. I've never done that.
What?
Have they found
What is
any?
your opinion on that, from what you think?
I don't think it was
I mean,
unintentional.
do you really think that
It's not from a fall.
she beat the shit out of
I couldn't tell you. Only
I
she.
don't know what else.
Only she would be able to answer that question. But it's not how she's telling us that it happened.
Holly's refusal to give a clear account has left the truth about what happened to Cora a mystery. But against all odds, the infant survived.
Oh my
Cora's
God.
mother posted this video update to Facebook on August 29th, 2023.
It's Miss Cora. She's going to the Bethany Hospital today. Yay! We're so excited. Yes, we are.
While baby Cora suffers from ongoing health complications, she continues to persevere and celebrated her second birthday in April of 2025. Mackenzie chronicles her ongoing recovery and continues to provide updates on her Facebook page, Cora's Journey. 26-year-old Holly Marie Shepard was formally charged with felony child abuse, placed on a $500,000 bond, and ordered no contact with minors. She didn't post bond and remained in custody, receiving only a temporary medical release due to her being pregnant, with a court order requiring
She should no. She should not be anywhere near children. Holy.
her to report back to jail immediately after hospital discharge. The current placement and care of Holly's infant are unknown. On November 26, 2024, Holly entered a plea of no contest in Cora's case. She was sentenced to life in prison with eligibility for parole after 25 years. In 2025, while serving her life sentence, Holly was separately charged with first-degree murder in connection to the 2018 death of a 3-week-old infant.
Yeah.
A development that offered hope for resolution in the case after 7 years. She entered a plea of not guilty, and the case is still ongoing, with a hearing scheduled for October 2025.
What happened?
If you'd like to see select new videos early and help us keep uncovering case files that rarely come to light, you'll find extra footage and unseen details on our Patreon. Channel memberships here on YouTube also include early access to select new videos.
Yeah, pregnant with her own. I mean, she's not gonna hurt her own, oh god, her own kid. So that's good because she has 2 other ones. But, yeah, I would not have her anywhere near any children of any kind. I need to step away for a second because, that kind of hit really hard. And then I think we need to watch the Casual Geographic to kind of recover because that was something. So just give me 1 minute. I'm just gonna freshen up a little bit because that kind of made me really, really sad for obvious reasons. So give me 1 minute. Hold on. Oh, okay, I'm back. Oh gosh, yeah, that was yeah, anything involving children, especially now that I have my own baby, is whew, okay. We are gonna watch some Casual Geographic because I need a little bit of a refresher. Oh, wrong button. Sorry. And what's more refreshing than raccoons? So, how raccoons almost got away. There's actually a new video from Casual Geographic, so we're gonna sit through everything. Raccoons are very cute. I've heard they're very, very slowly becoming more domesticated. I hope this is like a feel-good video, because look how cute this little guy is. Ugh. Trash pandas, yeah. Oh.
A new study shows raccoons are evolving and trying their hardest to become our pets. Let me explain.
Now, how about I explain? Raccoons wear masks because they might have pulled the feline finesse on humanity. It's what you've probably heard from the news, with researchers saying that an overachieving trash panda might be—
See, I'm already feeling a little bad. Look how cute these little trash pandas are. They're trying to become domesticated. That's my fam. Yeah, Nagash was the first video we watched.
The next animal to domesticate itself, so much that they're already getting cuter in the process. Domestication doesn't just make animals more tolerant of people, it physically changes them too, with changes like floppy ears, curly tails, smaller teeth, brains, and shorter snout. And one change has folks excited for the future of raccoons, and it's all because of this study. By combing through 19,000 raccoon portraits posted to iNaturalist, the study concluded that the urban raccoon snout size was shorter than their country cousins by 3.6%, possibly because shorter snouts with stronger bites are better at chewing through our trash, and that trash might be how this all started. What people forget is domestication isn't just brute force by humanity. The animal has to make the first move, and with dogs, that move was early wolves scavenging off human leftovers, a habit that favored less fearful, less aggressive wolves. Without their love affair of our food, we wouldn't have dogs, and arguably no animal loves our trash more than a recycle ninja. The Shiesty cat is a survivalist on steroids who easily adjusted to life in the city, pivoting from foraging from 9 to 5 to dumpster dive, and leaving trees for chimneys. Raccoons have hands, free will, and the intellect to use both, which can lead to a sugar bandit hitting a lick on a donut shop and slipping away to do it again. That is, when they don't use the direct approach of just asking for it. Mind you, Stealth Eyes have great memory. She just made a regular for life. They'll take free rides from anywhere, literally. There's more than one case of ring-tailed commuters taking trains, like when a raccoon hopped on a Toronto GO train headed halfway down Ontario, or when another tried hopping on a subway in Spadina Station.
Wow. Okay, they can take free rides. Okay, I for one welcome our cute little raccoons. I would love one as a pet. They're very cute.
Raccoons aren't just built for the city, they're forged by it, and all our efforts to slow them down might have just made them smarter. Toronto spent $31 million on raccoon-proof green garbage bins in 2016, designed specifically to keep the veiled vermin from your trash. The raccoons spent a couple days in false defeat, until a few were caught making the bins, the 30 mil, and the city of Toronto look like a joke.
I was gonna say, they're gonna break them open, aren't they? Look at them. Committing to the best dumpsters, they just know. Look how cute they are. Wish it was legal to have a raccoon in Poland. Probably best though, since we're raccoon dogs. Raccoons are already an invasive pest here. Yeah, we can't have them over here either. As cute as they are.
Because nothing is truly raccoon-proof, and many believe that the harder people push to prove otherwise, the more they've accidentally buffed the brain of a bin burglar. In fact, many people have dubbed this excessively street-smart variant as the Uber raccoon.
Did he honestly open that? That's crazy. Love they just freeze and stare like sub. They're so cute.
So it would seem that like death, taxes, and The Simpsons getting another season, raccoons are inevitable. But before you start fantasizing about naming a litter merchant Rocket, you should probably know, what exactly is a raccoon? Let's take this ride.
Oh,
One
sorry.
more time. With Order Carnivora, there's a team cat and a team dog. Team cat feliform has, well, cats, wildcats, hyenas, the mongoose mafia, and a bunch of mammal castrol nature made out of spare parts like the binturong and the fusa. Team dog caniformia has the canines, along with bears, pinnipeds, mustelid crash outs like the honey badger, skunks, and of course, the raccoon. More specifically, the raccoon family is Procyon, and that family reunion has members that you may not have heard of before, like the ringtail, actual name.
Cute. Okay, so they're more like dogs. Okay.
The Kakamisle. Every time I see it, it feels like the first time. The Kinkajou, aka the honey bear. But by far, my favorite raccoon cousin is not a moonwalking dinosaur. That's just what happens when you put coatis in reverse. If you've been to Mexico, you've definitely seen at least one coatimundi, if not coatimany. And as someone who's been to Mexico, I can assure you that they'll steal your heart along with anything else left unsupervised. It's a habitual hog-nosed thief.
Oh.
And suddenly I'm okay with that.
Free sniffs, nice.
So obviously when it comes to raccoons, it's just genetic. They can't help themselves. But raccoons were the only ones that were able to leave the trenches and make money moves in the city.
Okay, but like imagine owning a raccoon and like, oh, I'm so full I can't finish my food and I don't want to waste it. You just give it to the raccoon. You should be like, here you go, little guy. After, I'm sure you would also share some of the food because I would share some of my food because their digestive system can handle it. I think.
But how? How did raccoons finesse the infrastructure so well that you honestly forget they're not supposed to be there? You know raccoons are smart. The question is, how smart?
Very smart.
Yes. A literal Robin Hood isn't just street smart. They sit at a table with some of the brainiest animals in the world. In 1907, two psychologists tried to power scale the intelligence of the raccoon, and to do it, they used Edward Thorndike's puzzle box. In this method, the subject would have to engineer an escape by opening a series of latches to see not only how
They can never make something fully raccoon-proof because it still needs to be simple enough for the dumbest human to use, and there's shocking overlap between the smartest raccoon and the dumbest human. And they have fingies and strug. They have the super chat werewolves, but look how cute they are. Wait, the only terrifying thing with that is that you'd have to make sure like they can't get into like the medicine cabinet or something then. You literally have to put it between like a lock. Oh, I didn't even think about that.
fast they could.
Because if you think about it, raccoons, because like there's baby-proof stuff, you'd need raccoon-proof stuff. Oh, I didn't even think about that. Oh.
accidentally find the answer, but how quickly they could purposely do it again. They both did the same experiment separately, and both came to the conclusion that not only did a bushy-tailed urbanite clear cats and dogs, the raccoon's performance put them right under monkeys. Raccoons are also one of the few animals that passed Aesop's test. In another experiment, 2 out of 8 raccoons were able to figure out that they could reach a marshmallow in a tube with water by dropping stones to raise the level high enough. A third one said, and just sat on the tube and rocked back and forth.
Okay, I don't even know if I would realize how to do that. I'd be like, oh, how am I gonna get the marshmallows? I wouldn't think about that, I'm gonna be honest. I'd be like, oh, I guess I'll just not have those marshmallows. Okay.
Until it tipped over and the water and marshmallow spilled out.
Oh my god, same brain pan. Yeah, I'm not gonna pretend I'm smarter than a raccoon.
Something a team of PhD students did not see coming. It was never a secret raccoons are cognitively capable. Once upon a time in the 20th century, there was a push to use raccoons as lab animals for neuroscientists and psychologists, but that idea lost steam due to the procedural issues of raccoons breaking out of cages and escaping through vents. Basically, it got to the point where you couldn't tell who was studying who. A deliberate disciplinary choice in the
Okay, I'm glad they escaped though.
history of bullshit. They got embarrassed by a dumpster puppy and refused to run it back. Honestly, raccoon intelligence comes down to 2 things. One is memory. Raccoons can remember solutions to problems they solved years ago and will just build on that knowledge. A different experiment involved 22 rats, 2 dogs, 4 raccoons, and 5 human children, and this time they'd face 3 light bulbs, one of which would briefly turn on, and the subject would have to identify which one after a delay. At first, the raccoons didn't do too hot. They could pick the right light bulb after a 25-second delay, but the dogs could handle 5 minutes. But what was quickly realized was both the dogs and the rats could only remember which bulb if and only if they were facing the bulbs the entire time. As soon as they moved around and lost visual, they lost the challenge. But raccoons could pick the right light even after spending the delay moving around and being distracted. The only other subjects that could do this were the children. Memory is important, but the second pillar of procyonid prowess is curiosity. It might have killed the cat, but La Poubelle Panda has been living off that. In my opinion, other than crows, raccoons are the perfect city animal, and curiosity is one reason why. They're neophiles, meaning their first response to something they've never seen before is to figure it out. That's how they turn what Toronto media flex as the marvel of ergonomic design into a 7-figure waste of everyone's time. It's almost impossible to make something raccoon-proof, since there's an unsettling overlap between the smartest raccoon and the dumbest human.
Literally what we said before. Literally what we said before.
It doesn't help that a rubbish warrior has hands. Fun fact, the animal called wash bear doesn't wash food. They actually wet their paws to enhance the nerves on their fingers, meaning raccoons can see what they're eating with their hands. Speaking of food, it helps that raccoons are
I thought they cleaned their food. That's interesting.
omnivores that'll mooch off you, your dog, your cat. They'll food tax your entire family and hit the goofiest animation after. They'll try anything once, even if it means waking up face down in a liquor store. But what raccoons really eat off of is pretty privilege. Despite being much less of a disease risk, opossums don't get a fraction of the PR. And people who hate on coyotes but give raccoons a pass must not have the experience of waking up to a dismembered, disemboweled cat. In fact, intelligence in a face mask often makes you forget they're a predator tough enough to maul your family pet. And in the city, very few things can return the favor, as urban raccoons have almost no predators. Except for maybe an otter. Not like I think otters actually eat them, but to be fair, this does look very predatory. Other than Lila showing Rocket where everybody floats, raccoons are in that sweet spot where many of the things that would normally eat them are too big to really follow them into the city. Or at least if they do, they get all the smoke from humanity. Basically with raccoons, they're bigger than the cute animals, cuter than the big animals. But the last piece is their psychology. Experiments show that the quieter, more docile raccoons were craftier and much better at solving puzzles than the aggressives.
Yeah, because you can't hear them then. They have time to think about it, I would assume.
Ironically, bolder raccoons were less likely to take the time to see how a device works, meaning not only are calm raccoons superior students and problem solvers, but calmness is the trait that animals need to survive constantly being around humans. It's also the first step to domestication. Which brings us back to the question, are raccoons actually being domesticated? It's complicated. Remember that it was wolves valuing our leftovers so much that it created selective pressure that favored less fearful, more people-tolerant wolves. And after several generations of these docile wolves breeding, you eventually got the breeding blocks that would lead to Shih Tzus, Pekingese, and someone's arthritic, crusty-eyed, semi-bigoted Q-tip. You know, there was a period where every single girl I talked to had one of these, and they did not like me. But a lot of people say that the mass marauder is at the starting line of the same process, and that the snout study only proves it. Just one problem though, that study is very sus. For a number of reasons.
Are raccoons doing that study?
They used images that were uploaded by random people to iNaturalist, meaning I could have snapped a raccoon and thrown a pic up there and it might have ended up in the study. And then to avoid, I guess, duplicates, they limited the image contribution to 1 picture per person, which cut the picture pool from over 100,000 to just under 20,000. But they also had no way of knowing multiple people didn't just clock the same raccoon. And then, out of the 19,495 pictures, they cut it down to 249, 38 rural raccoons and 211 urban. I'm guessing they filtered out for the best quality images to measure, but I feel like you can't mess with the numbers that much without severely kneecapping your study. Especially since they say they pulled pictures from 2000 to 2024, but only used the last 4 years due to a low number of rural data points. Basically, they're saying in 20 years they couldn't find enough country raccoons. That's a, I don't know. Look, I'm not even gonna pretend like I'm the best at reading these studies or making sense of the numbers, so I'm actually gonna link this creator's video. She's an actual raccoon biologist. She's the only US citizen allowed to study the pygmy raccoon, and the creator of DashCon, which was some lore I was not expecting. But honestly, I'm not as worried about the numbers as I am the fact that the same study even admitted
Was DashCon actually that one with the ball pit? But interesting.
That raccoon snouts can be influenced by the climate, with them getting shorter as it gets warmer. And remember, I said domestication syndrome can come with shorter snouts, but also floppy ears, curly tails, etc. So they took one trait that arguably could be caused by the climate, and I also forgot the way they did it, some of the rural raccoons were actually living in urban areas. Again, I'm gonna plug Nessie's video. I feel like she did a much better job at dissecting this study than me, but the more I looked at it, the more it looked like an undergrad statistics project than an actual raccoon study. Which it actually might be. Now let's get to the real reason I'm making this video. I know I just pissed off a whole bunch of people by killing their raccoon reveille, but the thing is, I'm not saying raccoons aren't domesticating themselves. I'm also not saying they are. Let me explain. Domestication is a multi-generational DNA-altering process.
Yeah, so like in our lifetime, and probably in any children's lifetime, it's not going to be a thing, I would assume. It takes a very, very long time.
That ends with an animal that kind of needs us to survive. They can't live in the wild, or at least they're not supposed to. Habituation happens on an individual level, where the animal's still wild, their kids are going to be wild, but they've adopted changes in behavior to take advantage of being around people. When the early wolves became less afraid of people and more comfortable cleaning our plates, that was habituation. And habituation is what you see with a lot of these raccoons getting bolder around people, but they're not trying to become our pets, they're just trying to eat. Does that make sense? Like, you could argue habituation is the first step of domestication, but it doesn't guarantee domestication. A shot of jungle juice could be the first step to becoming an alcoholic, but one shot does not an alcoholic make. You can drink it without ending up in an AA meeting. And even if raccoons are on the road to domestication, you, me, our kids' kids, and even the spawn after that won't be alive to see it. And by that logic, raccoons wouldn't be the only ones. Plenty of animals have habituated to humans. Foxes in London have done infinitely better in cities than in the country, and some researchers even say that their snouts are also getting smaller, as rooting through trash has selected for shorter snouts with stronger.
Why is there Super Smash Bros. Music in the background? It's very distracting. Very distracting. Either a long time or live dedication, like with the domesticated foxes, 50-year breed. Oh, is that what they're talking about right now? Literally good timing.
Bites to break through packages and bones. And black bears in places like Aspen, Colorado will regularly commute from the woods into the city to scavenge trash at night, and they've also gotten really bold about it, even breaking into houses and raiding fridges. Elephants in Thailand have habituated to the point of running things like the mafia. You got elephants stopping trucks on the road just to steal their sugarcane. But by far the best, or I guess worst example, is baboons in South Africa being so used to humans meaning an easy meal, now they expect it and will violently run your pockets. But no one's saying baboons, elephants, or especially bears are being domesticated, and black bears are just obese raccoons. I mean, some will claim that for foxes, but even if they are, nobody you know or will be alive to see it. And as cities continue to spread, a lot of animals will have to adapt or die. And credit, raccoons adapted the hell out of their circumstances. Raccoons hack the city game and there's nothing you can do to stop them. Toronto is considered the raccoon capital of the world, with up to 100,000 black-eyed bandits free roaming, which would technically make them the largest minority group in Toronto. And if the $30 million dud wasn't proof, these sticky-fingered city slickers are testing humanity in ways few other urbanites could. But at least raccoons make sense in North America. Somehow they've taken their act international to Germany. In 1934, raccoon fur farms were booming, and a local forestry chief released 2 pairs of wash bears to enrich the environment. The result was the raccoon population blew up, And not just them, because years later, a bomb obliterated a farm near Berlin, allowing 30 raccoons to escape, and today, there's an estimated 1 million rogues roaming the country. 1940s Germany yet still did not see that coming. But the most outrageous origin story is how they ended up in Japan. You see, after the 1977 Rascal the Raccoon anime, raccoons became all the rage. So much that Japan was importing over 1,000 a year to satisfy the demand for pets.
Dang.
And thanks to raccoons being some of the worst pets you can have, if they weren't released into the streets by owners, they escaped and invaded the cities anyway. If they could have just taken the time to finish the anime, they probably would have gained the insight that could have avoided all of this. Instead, Japan has been at war with an unknown number of raccoons, who aren't just costing millions of dollars in damage a year, they've done an absolute number on the already endangered Japanese salamander, while also severely outcompeting the very ironic looking raccoon dog. They can't keep getting
The Tanukis. I was gonna say, they already kind of had the raccoon-ish adjacent.
away with this. But it's not all good for the raccoon. Habituation can be a problem for them too. As funny as a raccoon breaking into a liquor store and getting faded off the moonshine is, there are some unexpected consequences to them eating the same food as us. Like, did you know raccoons can get diabetes? Researchers looked into the ruins in Ontario, and they found that the city variety had a blood glucose level more than double those in the country. Mom, I'm sorry, I know you don't like me cursing, but I cannot stress how badly you f***ed them over by feeding them. A masked up chonk is real cute until you realize they're having the same issues with obesity, diabetes, and other health problems. And remember, Toronto already blew an NBA player's salary trying to stop them. Not to mention the very real issue that raccoons go the way of baboons, where they not only lose all fear and respect for humans, but start getting violent about it too. Because
I was gonna say this. Oh, I didn't even think about they could get the same thing. Yeah, as a chonker, there's some chonky raccoons. Same thing happened here in Poland. More raccoon means less raccoon dogs and native birds. That kind of sucks.
I say it all the time. You could probably finish the phrase for me, but the worst thing an animal can do is what? Lose its fear of humans. Because while the original raccoon might seem far from extinction, there's another raccoon on the brink that you may not have even heard of. Because there's actually 3 species of raccoon. You got the famous common raccoon, but also the crab-eating, or South American, because they don't even eat that much crab, but also the Cozumel, or pygmy raccoon. You remember how I said Nessie's the only US citizen that's authorized to study them? Well, she's seen firsthand what habituation, especially tourism, has done to them. Like, while I was sitting home working on this video, she had to deal with a couple Cozumels that died due to habituation, likely due to the malnutrition of eating tourist trash. It's sad that there's only a couple hundred of these walking travel-sized trench coats left with, other than habitat loss, parasites and disease being some of the main reasons why. Reasons that definitely are not helped by being fed junk by tourists. But probably the biggest problem is that most people don't even know they exist. Like, if you look up Mexican raccoon, Google will probably acknowledge the coati before the Cozumel. And it's getting to the point where if we don't lock in like now, the whole Cozumel raccoon community is gonna get canceled. That would really suck, because I literally just found out about them last year. So to make a long story short, raccoons aren't domesticating themselves, and if they are, it's no more than baboons, bears, or foxes, and if they are, it'll be many generations before anyone sees it. And honestly, I don't think the scientists reporting on it were trying to be misleading, because again, it technically could be domestication, but I feel like news outlets saw domestication and kind of ran with it. And then people saw that news and immediately started thinking they'll have raccoons in pet stores in their lifetime, and that's not the case. And you don't want it to be. I'm not kidding when I say a raccoon as a pet will have you hating the species, your life, and everything about it. Imagine an adorable but incompetent contractor that does awful work and then demands food after. That, and they're liable to mangle your cat. Also, it's not good for the raccoons either.
Okay, I take it back. I don't want a raccoon as a pet. Okay.
I can show you a graveyard full of raccoons that started as pets. And hot take, all exotic pets are bad. Okay, but I feel like opossums as an option are way more chill. Like, who's ever been punked by a possum? And skunks are a low-key sleeper pick. Like, I'm not kidding. They might.
Okay, but skunks are really stinky.
Might get a video next. But yeah, instead of obsessing over bringing raccoons into our house, we should probably try to save them while they're still out. And that's gonna do it for this video. Shout out to Nessie for helping me with this video while fighting the good fight. She's currently in an undisclosed location in Cozumel trying to save the pygmy population. I'm gonna put all her stuff in the description. Also, shout out to Newsflare. A lot of the clips used in this video are licensed through them, so yeah, definitely recommend for finding clips for your projects. Also, I just want to say, I'm not an expert in this. Like, don't think of me as a teacher, more like a student sharing his work with the class. And if you disagree with me, I have no problem with healthy discourse in my comments. In fact, I actively encourage it. Just don't be like weird about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean. Drink water, hug your mother. Stop feeding! Is this on? Hold on, let me just... Please stop feeding raccoons. They don't need the help and your help's not helping. Tell a friend about the Cozumel. They really...
Your help's not helping. Don't feed the raccoons.
need the PR. Say what's up to your pops, and I'ma see y'all In the next one.
Look at them go! Okay, I need that little refresher. That was nice. You'd have their stink glands removed to get a pet skunk. I don't think I would even do it. I'm good with cats. Instructions unclear. I bought bread to feed them. Bad ROM. We've gone over this. Feel like you need to surgically remove a part of the animal's biology to make it tolerable as a pet. Wouldn't be a pet in the first place. Yeah. Yeah, true. All right, let's go. I almost didn't hide it. Okay. That is it for today. Ow, actually, I was under 2.5 hours. Let's go. We did pretty good today. Here we go. Here we go. Fun fact, the cousin of the raccoon, the Cody, can be found in America too, but they're mainly found in Arizona, New Mexico, and Texas. Oh, okay. Yeah, they mentioned briefly about it. I feel like I only see the common raccoon, I guess. Neighbors dump food scraps in the front yard for the animals. We have a pest problem now. Yeah, that would do it. That would, but I'm hungry? No. No, you have to eat things in the wild, trash. Yet again, I catch the end of stream. I'm sorry, Jitter. I'm sorry. I'm gonna go hug my baby after that terrible video with that woman. I'm gonna make sure I give her lots of kisses. I'm gonna go pet my cats. Thank goodness they're not destroying things. Appreciate you gamers hanging out with me. I will be on Twitch tomorrow as well as Tetra. I don't think I'm gonna get over that babysitting video. I don't think so. Yeah, but thanks for hanging out with me. I hope you had a good time. I will see you goobers tomorrow on Twitch. I think we're still gonna be playing Reanimal. So, oh my gosh. Thank you for hanging out with me, and I'll see you soon. Bye, chat. Bye, 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 bye. Bye, bye, bye.